Hello everyone, my name is PixelRiffs. Welcome to your Sunday Minecraft live stream. How's everyone doing? I'm sorry I'm already laughing. I just casually opened YouTube on my way back through to the Twitch dashboard. And the other day, you know how everyone on Twitter is doing those like tiered lists of stuff, right? Where they're like, this is the best tier, like starter Pokemon or whatever. And there's that website dedicated to making this stuff now. I saw somebody the other day do it with like Xbox avatars and stuff. So Mumbo Jumbo did that with like Minecraft resource farms the other day, and Iskal has just published a rebuttal. He's literally published like corrected tier list of all Minecraft farms. And I'm not normally the kind of guy to enjoy the memes all that much, but this one in particular has tickled me. So good work there. How is everyone? Hope you're well. Hope your weekend is treating you well. As you can see, Minecraft is already open behind me because I've been doing some AFKing. We have a lot of resources to gather in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, hope everyone's down for a nice chill Nether Hub building stream, because that's kind of the plan for today, is to do a little bit more work on the Nether Hub, clear out some more of that Nether rack, make sure the perimeter is secure, probably build up the walls, which means it might turn into an impromptu chop-in Sunday, a stone Sunday, because I need to get myself a bunch of stone. But here we are. Here we are, everyone. Hope you're all well. Trotsky, by the way, with the 2 months of Twitch Prime while we were setting everything up here. Thank you so much for the 2 months of support. Let's see some sub hype in the chat before we get started. And yeah, Stony Sunday hype indeed. Hey, still can't work due to your feet being screwed, making you a little stir crazy. Sorry to hear that. Hope I can be a distraction of sorts. Got your very first Haste 2 beacon earlier today. Very, very good. Very good. Well done. Yeah, it's always a big moment. I'm sitting in the wooden corner. I am. I know. Like, it feels like this should just be like the back wall of my office, except it moves. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's play some Minecraft. I am in a box above my mob farm right now. The passive mob farm hype is real because the sun is coming up as well. Very good. Yeah, I need some more bones after what I'm doing for Monday's episode basically wiped me out of bones. So that's fun. But yeah, hopefully that video should go down pretty well. And I've got a lot of oak wood on me now, which is probably an indication of what I'm doing on Monday's episode. But yes, here we are. Got an exam on Tuesday. Revising alone is driving you a little insane. Glad I've got you to listen to in the background and a large supply of tea. Well, the tea is essential and mandatory, so I'm glad you've got that. But glad you're also tuning in. Hope that goes well for you. Good luck. I always find it kind of weird wishing people good luck in their academic efforts because, like, surely luck shouldn't be a factor if you have revised well enough. But then again, yeah, it's a little bit of a potluck thing sometimes, isn't it? Hey, here we go, Lat and Jay with the 2 months of Tier 2 support. Thank you so much for the support. Very kind of you. I'm going to take some of the gunpowder from here as well. I've been mainly AFKing for bones. And yes, Mr. Badgerseth, you nailed it. We're working on a TNT tree farm for Monday. It is not any design that you've probably seen from any of the more productive resource farming YouTube types because I wanted to puzzle through it myself, create a version that was going to be a little bit more user-friendly and required less precise redstone timing, so I kind of came up with my own deal. Hopefully it goes down okay, and inevitably I will have a ton of people saying, why didn't you build Ilmango's tree farm? In which case you should go and watch Ilmango instead, which I recommend doing anyway because he's a fantastic technical player. He's always doing really, really amazing stuff. So yeah, consider that the endorsement for today's stream. Accidentally slapped a pig yesterday. Major death and destruction ensured. In the middle of this, my laptop froze. Oh no. Oh dear. Still waiting to upgrade to 1.14.2. Yeah. Yeah, 1.14.2 is apparently looking very good. What else do I have to say about... Yeah, no, the Creator Summit happened, and everyone has lots of very positive things to say about Minecraft Earth, which has me kind of excited, to be honest, because I didn't think it was going to be all that special, and maybe it's because people who are, like, Minecraft content creators are the ones getting this early look at it, but they said that it feels like playing Minecraft in the real world, and that there is a very kind of interesting and different take on the AR technology being incorporated in that, which I'm very excited about and hoping to unpack a little bit further in this episode of the Spawn Chunks that we're recording tomorrow. Although, of course, going to have to wait to pass any judgment on it until I've actually seen it for myself. But we will see. We will see. What's going to change in 1.14.2? A lot of bug fixes. There have been issues on multiplayer servers, especially with people's entities disappearing. And so if you're confused by what an entity is, it's basically anything like a mob or an armor stand, anything that's kind of placed out there in the world that isn't like a block as such. Anything movable is usually an entity. Not as in can be pushed by pistons, but the kind of thing where, like, with an armor stand, if you swipe at it, it can move, that kind of thing. Torches aren't actually entities, as far as I'm aware. They sort of seem like they should be, because they're out there in the world. But anyway, yeah, people's villages and stuff have been disappearing, and especially considering this update places such an emphasis on caring for villagers, it's been very difficult for people to do that, so it's unfortunate, but yeah, hopefully that has been resolved to an extent. The lighting glitches seem to have been taken care of. Performance is better. Generally, it seems like a worthwhile update to make, and so hopefully everyone who has been holding off for fear of technical disaster is going to enjoy 1.14.2. The latest pre-release is apparently quite good, according to a couple of folks I've seen on Twitter who have said as much. Been really enjoying the spawn chunks lately, Tuna Fishy Boy. Oh, lovely. Glad to hear it. Hope you're enjoying, yeah, and continuing to enjoy those episodes. We're coming up on another round table episode tomorrow, so a little bit of discussion. And yeah, it looks like it should be a good show. There's been a lot of news lately, a lot of new stuff coming out after the 10th anniversary celebrations and everything. So we should have plenty to talk about. And yeah, hopefully pretty soon we can start talking about some incredibly positive change for 1.14, because people need to play this update. This update is good. The content is great. We will see. I assume from this title the stream will be dedicated to James Bond puns. I really wish I had more James Bond puns, but I'm not that familiar with the Bond canon in general. Which my brother-in-law Rob would probably be upset about because he's a big Bond fan. Strelitzian is here. Hello, good to see you. Let's see who else. Darkleys is working on your underground base. Very nice. Hermitcraft is now on 1.14.2. Yes, but pre-1 at the last count, and probably on pre-4. And that's fine. I mean, if you're comfortable running a world on snapshots, then great. Personally, I'm really looking forward to Optifine releasing as well. Like Optifine for whatever the next version is going to be, because 1.14 is not really worth rolling back to just to have Optifine. I did that the other day so I could take some glamour screenshots with shaders of the junk in a backup world, and yeah, I did not have a great time with the chunk loading. I forgot how bad that got for a while there. Basketball Brian, hello, good to see you. I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. Did an Enderman move this? I'm pretty sure an Enderman has moved this grass block on top of what was a tall grass block there, because that does not look like a block I would have placed. That's really weird. Gonna move that back down, thank you. And probably do that with it. So, stone is probably what I need, actually, thinking about it. I'm just getting myself oriented a little bit, and I'm a bit warm. I might take this hoodie off, much as I love wearing it. What's going on today? Today we're working on the Nether Hub, as you might be able to tell from the title. Yeah, I tend to I tend to make my titles like more funny than descriptive a lot of the time, so yes. Did I have any lighting bugs? I did. I had a couple of lighting bugs over at the jungle village that I made, the Swungle village, the Swamp Jungle Village combo, the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, because when I went over there, there were a bunch of torches everywhere. I tried to light up that place as much as I possibly could because I didn't want hostile mobs spawning in there and ruining my villager project. And when I last went over there, a bunch of the torches looked like they were lit, but they weren't actually giving off any block light. So I don't have that many underground areas in this world that would have been affected by something like that, but I think there would have been some very troublesome times over there had I spent particularly long hanging out with the villagers. I feel like that would not have ended well. After being inspired by the stream, you're going to work on your hardcore YouTube series. Good luck with that. Hope it all goes well. A lot of people chatting about hardcore lately, what with Philza losing his world and everything, so it's kind of cool to see more people stepping into hardcore and giving it a try. Eager to see the TNT tree farm? You really want to make one yourself? Yeah, I feel like I'm sort of happy with this one. It works to an extent. There are definitely ways in which it could be made better, and to be honest, I'm going to leave a lot of that up to the community to take my ideas and expand upon them. If they spot any kind of obviously glaring issues of like, this could be way better, then take them and run with them, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm not looking for this to be some kind of like be-all end-all TNT tree farm design, but I think it does what I set out to do, which means I'm sort of happy with it. It's crazy I almost have as many subs as my channel as on the recap. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day when my channel surpasses the recap, because the recap has obviously been a big project for a while, and for a while that was... Okay, there we go. That fire just didn't want to die for a second. For a while the recap was just the channel I was looking at in terms of growth, and since then, obviously, my own channel has taken off, and I'm so happy with that I really want to I want to see my channel surpass the recap and go on to bigger and better things, you know? How did I make the nether portal larger than the original size? You break the nether portal and you build it larger? I I guess it's kind of the only way I can really put it. Do I have? I don't have a crafting table here, do I? So I guess I've probably got to dig around in the chests and see if I have one there. The max perimeter on Nether Portal is 23 blocks by 23 blocks, so you can make them very big. There is, you know, there's a limit, but it's a pretty large limit. If you want to see the biggest possible Nether Portal you can make, in survival at least, because it's possible to make them in creative, make them even bigger, check out my Decidedly Vanilla Season 5? Is it Season 5? I think it's Season 5. I don't have any wood in here. And check out the episode of that in which I build the Nether Portal at my base. Because it's basically one of those giant Japanese shrine gateways, the kind of torii gates, and it's massive. It's like as big as you can make it, basically. Or maybe like a couple of blocks off, but it is large. Aren't pigmen not supposed to spawn there? They've actually come down from the netherrack on around the outsides, I think. Or they've spawned on the prismarine blocks and have walked off themselves. But I think once we actually clear out that area, I shouldn't see anything else spawning on the floor space, at least. Sephora with 100 bits, starting out the week with 100 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. Very kind of you. After seeing F-Whip's world, did it inspire to change my world? Do anything? When I was looking around Whip's world, I had a... I had a moment of regret that I didn't focus this series more on building, but then lately I've kind of decided that what I like doing is making tutorials of all kinds. Like, I started off doing little redstone gadget tutorials on my channel before I went on to do build tutorials, and it's kind of fun for me to do a bit of everything. And so while obviously I love building is always going to be kind of my one true passion when it comes to Minecraft, and it's the thing I probably have what I'd argue to be the most aptitude for. I can't base a YouTube series around it because I don't have the confidence to go in and just talk and talk and talk while I build. I'm much more of a contemplative builder. And so what Whip does is totally different to what I do, because he just makes an episode and builds and makes every single episode about building, and that's how his world has managed to grow to the size that it has, with the sheer amount of like creativity that's poured into all of that. Oh gosh, I've got to smelt it for the stone slabs. I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't played Minecraft all weekend basically, except for the TNT farms, so that's yeah, that's bizarre. Okay, so I guess we'll clear out some netherrack first, and then we'll do that. And I do need to continue the perimeter wall as well. But yeah, what I was saying is, yeah, I can't make my series the way Whip makes his series, and so I thought for a second I'd aggroed that pig man. And so I'm kind of at peace with the fact that I'm not going to be able to do as much building as he has done and make my world look as good as his has in the same amount of time. Like, I'm so focused on making like little bits and pieces and introducing concepts to beginner players that I can't come out of the gate building enormous stuff. Like, I want to do that as a result of various points in this series, but I don't think I can quite match his pace and his creativity at the level I'm at right now. But yeah, his stuff is so impressive. It's really cool. And I think I probably plan to do a little bit more variation in terms of styles, ultimately, than he does, because he's very focused on medieval building, as a lot of Minecraft builders are. And in the grand scheme of things, I want to try building like a big modern city and do a bunch of different styles of building. I also want to build some stuff that's a little bit more abstract. But yeah, like, Whip does amazing landscapes, which is something that I always thought was incredible and very difficult to do if you don't have access to creative mode, because I feel like so much of that has to be done using like World Painter and that kind of stuff, and he's made it look like one of those types of landscapes, but purely by working in survival, and that's mind-blowing to me. Interesting in trying medieval Japanese style stuff. Feudal Japan, yeah, is a great source of inspiration for those kind of builds if that's what you're into. Yeah, a lot of people have the image of Japan as like the Tokyo sort of era, like from today, where everything is modern and there's lots of neon signs everywhere and stuff. But yeah, rustic Japanese builds are always really fun to look at. He's also had that world for 2 years and not less than a year like mine. Yeah, no, I've been working on this world for like 6 months. No, more than 6 months. Like we said, July, right? So it's actually coming up on close to a year. I keep thinking of this as like, oh, I've only been doing this for 6 months, but it has been a really long time. I think I've only been making the videos for it week daily for 6 months. I think that's where like the disparity is in my head. Tron Creeper, you off? Have a good one. Hope you're gonna have a lovely Sunday. I was just watching the F-Whip tour, then hey, you're live. Yeah, I'm here. It me. How are you, Joel? Hope you're keeping well. If you haven't checked out some of the folks who are at the Minecraft Creator Summit in Stockholm, check out some of their Twitter accounts and see what they're saying about Minecraft Earth, because apparently we have underestimated quite how cool Minecraft Earth is, according to them. And none of them are paid to say what they're saying, but obviously they're enthusiasts about the game, so they're the kind of people whose opinion is possibly coloured by the fact that they're so into Minecraft, but they also have some very positive stuff to say about it, and they're saying it's... Everyone's comparing it to Pokemon Go. It's got much more of a kind of Minecraft gameplay focus than anybody had ever thought. Worth a look. Anyway, worth a look. Had Doc's vlog in the background this morning. I mean, Doc's vlog was mainly just like the shenanigans they got up to while they were there. Like, obviously he can't really say all that much about the presentations they saw, which is, you know, it's obviously, you know, it's clear why he can't say anything, but it's a little bit disappointing that the vlog is just like, then we ran around in a field for a couple of hours playing games with beanbags, you know? And I can see why. Like, they want Mojang to announce the stuff themselves officially instead of Doc, like, being the one who gives us the scoop about everything. But, yeah, it's always a bit of a shame when the only other content we can see is just him wandering around and pointing at people that he knows from YouTube. Sound like it was a marketplace focused event? Yeah, I expect so. For they said there was two sort of divisions of it. There was a marketplace side of things for those creators, and then there was a YouTube creator group as well that was a little smaller, but yeah, I can see why, because the marketplace folks are effectively partnering with Mojang to create the stuff that they create. It's like a commercial endeavor. Speaking of commercial endeavors, Auntie Lammy with 14 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the support. Let me see some resub hype in the chat. My gosh, 14 months. Thank you, thank you. Why does Mojang show YouTubers insides if they're not allowed to share it? Wouldn't that be the whole point? I mean, not really. I think it's a group of people that they have trusted to be sort of ambassadors in a way for Minecraft on YouTube, and they're definitely people who have connections to Mojang through like the early days of the game and being the most popular YouTube creators. So they want to have somebody to get hyped about stuff, but without showing the broader public yet. And so I think maybe they're kind of preparing the YouTube folks for like, this is what we've got coming up, and kind of it's like when comedians do preview shows for their material. They're kind of like testing out the way they are communicating the content and seeing what kind of questions the community is going to ask as soon as they know what's up. And yeah, and also just to get people hyped that their favorite creators are going out and seeing what the future of Minecraft looks like. It's a weird way of marketing things, but it's also a way of giving back to the community and people who've supported the game for as long as they have. The Spawn Chunks cracked 64,000 unique IP downloads. Wow. To imagine that 64,000 people have watched or listened to I Did the Thing. I was listening to the Citadel Cafe the other day, and hearing Megan Townsend get really mad at herself for saying she watched a podcast was just so funny. I was like, the struggle is real. The terminology just gets away from us from time to time. We're so used to watching things these days. But, yeah, it's... It's great. But it's so cool that many people have listened to our show, and it's clearly spreading a little bit, which is so good. And to be fair, you can watch our podcast now on YouTube. You just watch the still images rotate on a slideshow. Yeah, I watch the Rooster Teeth podcast all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't I keep an ender chest on myself? Because a lot of the time I actually don't need the stuff that's in my ender chest. I kind of keep the ender chest as like a reserve of gear like redstone stuff and backup tools and things like that, and I typically don't need that, whereas right now the best use for my ender chest would be to fill it up with stone, and I've got shulker boxes for that, so I don't really see the purpose. It is rare that I end up dying while I'm out and about, obviously, touch wood, jinxing myself already. But I don't think I need to bring an ender chest in case I lose my gear and so forth. Like, I'm fine keeping a couple of shulker boxes at me and just assuming that I won't die. I'm too smart to die. Yes, the hubris. The hubris strikes again. Speaking of which, get wrecked. Have I watched the Achievement Hunter Minecraft Let's Plays? I actually watched their video from the Village and Pillage update the other day. And it frustrates me that they don't understand more about the game, but they aren't necessarily there to understand it. They're there to be entertaining, and if you find them entertaining, then they're pretty funny. But, yeah, being as I am so into the mechanics of this game now, I have a less of a patience for stuff like that than I used to. I did really enjoy the days when they used to just make like mini games for themselves to play and little challenges and stuff, but yeah, I think these days I'm much more into the more serious Hermitcraft kind of content where you can still have fun, but you're having fun with a very in-depth knowledge of the game at the same time. Hello. There's some lava there. Who would have thought in the Nether of all places? I ask you. Achievement Hunter just started a new series where they're going to try and get all the Xbox achievements. Yeah, it was like the new 101 or whatever it was. Something like that, I think they said. I'm looking forward to that because that's also introducing some of the newer members of the gang, because I guess like the rest of them aren't always in the office all at one time. But yeah, I saw, was it on Instagram or on Twitter or somewhere, Jeff Ramsey said that he was really excited for that series and it was going really well. So I'm kind of interested in that. What's the name of my axe? It's called Mushroom Chopper, because it's got Silk Touch and I use it to get mushroom blocks. And yeah, Jeremy and Jack from Achievement Hunter have both been streaming Minecraft a lot more, although I think Jack likes modded a lot more. I think he was the one who really got them into Sky Factory when they did that series. And to be honest, their Sky Factory Let's Play was kind of what encouraged me to play Sky Factory 3, because I was like, if they can do it, then I can probably do it too, right? Well, that and it makes really good time lapses. Oh, has Ryan been doing Sky Factory 4 as well? Yeah. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a few of them who will be into it as long as you can have mods and stuff. And then there's going to be a few of them who will probably never play it in their spare time, and it's just something that they do for work, which is fair enough. Cricket MC, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. And I appreciate the support. Can you transfer texture packs from PC to PS4? I don't know about PS4, because I think you can do that on Windows 10 now, but the texture pack file format is very different between Bedrock and Java, and also the PS4 version operates kind of in a vacuum compared to the other console versions of Minecraft, so pass on that one. I think you might have to just stick to whatever like skins and texture packs are available from the marketplace. But yeah, there are people who create texture packs for Bedrock, and if you have access to the file system, like, I think you can actually do it on iOS now as well. I think it is possible to import texture packs to, like, the Pocket Edition version of Minecraft and Windows 10 and so forth. Sony and Microsoft did finally make a networking agreement. Does that mean that Minecraft on PS4 might actually be part of Bedrock? Will they be better together? It'd be very exciting for PS4 players if they were, because I feel like the PS4 version has been kind of behind everything else as a result. And if Sony and Microsoft have been trying to nail down a networking agreement, then that might be why PS4 players haven't gotten some of the new update yet. But then I can't really speculate about this stuff. I'm so far removed from most of, like, the console gaming world now, being so heavily into PC stuff. It's a shame, but there's only so many hours in the day, you know? You added better observers. Is that the one Impulse was using in his latest video? Because he had a Vanilla Tweaks pack on. He had directional hoppers where there was, like, an arrow on the hopper showing you which direction it was, and I'm thinking about adding that for my own series at some point, just because of how complicated hopper chains can get. But yeah, Impulse had one from Vanilla Tweaks where there was like a redstone light on the side, like kind of showing when the observer was pulsing a redstone signal, but not just from the back, which is actually really useful. Because yeah, the problem with observers a lot of the time is that you can only see whether or not it's outputting a signal by, like, placing something redstone activated next to it, which isn't always convenient. That did seem like it'd be a pretty useful thing. You want a wrench? Check whether it's outputting a signal by placing TNT. Funny story. Tomorrow's episode of Minecraft Survival Guide deals quite heavily in TNT. And there is one observer that I think only got blown up once. But the cool thing about making TNT stuff now, if you're making any kind of, like, TNT cannon or anything, is that if it breaks, because the TNT blows it up, you get all of the parts back, so it's fine. Even incompetent people like me can now make a TNT cannon without fear of just losing everything, which is kind of a nice feeling. I'm going to have to do something about all this inventory, aren't I? I am indeed. There's, like, blaze rods and gold nuggets and all kinds of stuff here. I think that is literally from a pigman who died from fall damage, because I haven't fought any pigmen lately, and apparently since 1.14 has made them possible to aggro infinitely, I probably shouldn't. How much of the hub have I cleared? I have no idea in terms of, like, a percentage. This is the halfway mark here, and I have done a bit over there as well. So, a little over half, I guess. This is the problem right now, though. Is these fools, who still think this is a nether fortress, despite all my efforts to the contrary. This is now a wither skeleton farm. I'll take the bones, though. Definitely in favour of bones after the week I've been having. But yeah, it's probably time to start squaring away some of this netherrack. I think I might get myself another few shulker boxes exclusively for netherrack storage and just put them all in a chest somewhere. Because I've got enough shulker shells that I'm just not using right now. And I mainly haven't... I can't believe I'm filling in blocks of netherrack. It's so counterproductive. But I mainly haven't made any more shulker boxes because I thought I was probably just going to end up putting them in my ender chest again, and my ender chest is already nearly full. But ultimately, yeah, I think I should just make a bunch of shulker boxes and put all the netherrack in there. TNT target practice, who needs all the netherrack anyway? That's the thing, you could get all the netherrack from TNT now. My main problem with using TNT in the nether right now is that technically if you blow it up by hand, like if you light it with a flint and steel and then it kills a pigman, technically that counts as your kill and then they'd aggro against you, which I'm not keen on happening, please. Thank you. So in the backup gear... There we go, got 56 shulker shells, so plenty of room for more shulker boxes. Now let's grab some wood, make some chests, and let's go one at a time here, because I always craft way too many shulker boxes at once and then realize that I have nowhere in my inventory to put them. Why don't I just burn the netherrack? Mainly because if you smelt netherrack into nether brick, it's now way more useful because red nether brick has stairs and slabs. Nether brick is also required in the nether brick fence recipe now, where it wasn't before, because nether brick walls have a different crafting recipe. So it's actually a good idea to keep a bunch of netherrack around. And also, what if I want to build a custom nether biome in the overworld or something like that? Like, it's nice to have a ton of this stuff around in future. People also use it as scaffolding. I have actual scaffolding blocks now that I'm quite keen on using, so I don't need to worry too much about that, but it's kind of nice to have around sometimes. And if I ever decide to turn fire tick off, or back on, I forget which way it works, but yeah, if I re-enable fire tick, then chances are that netherrack is going to come in quite useful for being a thing that will burn infinitely. You make red nether brick by combining nether wart and nether brick in like a 2x2 crafting interface, in the same way that you make coarse dirt with gravel and dirt. There we go. Tea is being refilled. Netherrack scaffolding is nice. Scaffolding is also pretty good. You're such a nice streamer, why do I get such terrifying ads? I'm sorry. I don't have much control over the ads. It's Twitch that puts them there, not me. Slime block scaffolding is not great. No. I'm not a fan of the infinite wobble that you get when you're standing on slime blocks. Do I use a teapot? I do use a teapot. I have this one, which is thematically appropriate for just the colours that I use in my branding, generally. Do I have screenshots on Twitter of the stuff I build? Sometimes, yeah, not all the time, but occasionally I will. I'll post the odd screenshot. Gonna have to search for a green space teapot. When I discovered that the mug that I have, this one, it's kind of weird me holding it up because you can't see it all the way. But when I discovered they no longer make these, I have basically decided that I need to go to, there's a cafe in Brighton that allows you to paint your own pottery, and they'll like glaze and fire it for you, and then you turn up and collect it later, but you get a receipt that you can come back and get it. And I want to go there and make my own bright green pottery. It'd be kind of boring to just go there and paint everything bright green, but I kind of want to choose the styles of stuff that I have, and it would be really cool to just have a ton of like green, like a whole green tea set that I just use exclusively on stream to mess with people's heads. Be pretty funny. Mochaccino with the 20 bits, asking what we're working on. Today we are working pretty much exclusively on the Nether Hub, although I don't know how far we're going to get, and if we get done we may end up doing something else, but there is a lot of stuff to do here, and not just in terms of organization. Green screen tea instead of green tea. Basically what we have, Liara, basically what we have. Hello, by the way. Hope you're having a good weekend. Alright, so three boxes of netherrack, 3 bloxes. You know those shulker bloxes? Thing is, if I break through this... Okay, no, that's actually a floor underneath there. Good. Because what I was thinking is I'd just store all of the leftover netherrack shulker boxes in... Excuse me, in here for now. Make 2 more of them. The colour has to be slightly off, so it's the space mug and not the ghost mug. Yeah, that's true. I feel like there is just a faint shimmer to it that is characteristic. I could paint sparkly stars on it, I guess so. I have no idea how that would come across on the stream, though. We will see. But yeah, I'd love to have a green teapot to be able to do something similar. Almost done. Clearing out this ridiculousness. Do I think the combat update and the cave update could be combined? I don't think, if we get a combat update next, I don't think it's going to be a cave update. In fact, I'm pretty sure people have confirmed that the next update isn't going to be anything to do with caves. Which I'm fine with, as long as, you know, if they eventually update caving, they do some really cool stuff. I'm fine with updates taking longer if they produce interesting content. Okay, that's all of that moved. Can probably tidy up this as well. We've got room for most of it. Some more in here. All this extra gubbins. Can finally get rid of these chests. Had to happen sooner or later. I am fine with it happening sooner. How do I play without getting bored? It's easy. I give myself stuff to do. I'm pretty good with coming up with stuff to do in this game. Like, it's... been playing it for a while. Ideas tend to suggest themselves. I also end up following a lot of the other folks who play Minecraft so much. Like, as much as I do. Like, I follow a lot of people from Hermitcraft and everything, and so they are a good source of inspiration for, like, what is possible in this game and what to do next. Hey, Mythical Sausage, what's up? You saw the Pokemon movie. Detective Pikachu? How was it? I've heard it's good, which, yeah, it gives me hope for the Minecraft movie actually being half decent. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people just said, like, it's fun, it's family comedy kind of fun. It doesn't have to be anything super intellectual, which is good because it's not. So yeah, I'm hopeful that Detective Pikachu can set a precedent for actual good video game movies. We live in hope. Yeah, so that is the entire bottom row of this chest, and then some, taken up by boxes of netherrack. One of which probably has some nether bricks in it as well, but hey, we'll get to that later. It feels like an in-world Pokemon movie, as in a movie you'd expect would exist in the Pokemon... Right, yeah, so it's like you exist in the Pokemon world and you're just going to see a movie, and then obviously the Pokemon are all just there in the movie, so it feels natural to you, sort of thing. I get that, and that's fun. It's like going to see a superhero movie where the point isn't the superheroes, as though you lived in a superhero-filled universe and it was just about normal people. Alright, let's go and smelt some stone. We'll need to do that. Let's not forget the Street Fighter and the Mario Brothers movies. We had a whole conversation about Street Fighter on the last stream. Was it the last stream or the one before? I can't remember. I think it was Chopping Tuesday, wasn't it? Because we ended up oh, there we go. Okay, I've come prepared apparently. But yeah, we ended up talking a lot about Kylie Minogue being in the Street Fighter movie and how I'd forgotten all about that. Hey. Good pud, just watched the F-Whip tour, amazing work and dedication there in survival. Thoroughly enjoying the guides. Confused though, in the mansion episode where I died, I thought you were in hardcore mode. No, not at all. I've done an episode about what to do when you die in Minecraft, but that was nothing to do with being in hardcore mode. I could not do a hardcore series and do it the way that I'm currently doing it, because a lot of the stuff I build is very unsafe. But yeah, I've never gone into this world with the intention of doing anything in hardcore. It's just too fraught for me. Zero Dave, here for the first time. Where am I from? I'm from the UK. I live on the south coast of England. Send a hello to Brazil. I don't know, what's Brazil's address? Should I send it to the tourism board or the... whatever, like the embassy? I am a hobbit that I live in the Shire, yes. Although, yeah, I no longer live in a county with Shire in the name, unless Sussex Shire counts, but it doesn't. Number 1 Brazil Street, Brazil. I feel like some sort of Terry Gilliam reference is coming up. BRB. Sorry about that. Just my door doesn't close all the way, and my wife is chatting in her office. She's on Skype with her family, and so... like, 21B Brazil Street. And in order to send them any kind of letter, we would have to fill out a 21B/6 or 27B. I forget what it is. How did the hoppers take all the materials from the chest so fast? I was actually putting it into a chest in there, and there's a hopper minecart that collects it all and distributes it to the furnaces. Hopper minecarts are quick. And I really wish there was some way of making regular hoppers that quick. Because they're always a bit of a bottleneck in terms of input speed. Paranoid, just ban that guy if he keeps being a pill. I know you will anyway, but... yeah, if he's being annoying, just give him the hammer. Haven't seen Brazil in a long time. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've just seen loads of people parodying it in, like, sitcoms. Enchanted hoppers in 1.15 update. Dude, I wish. That'd be so good. If you can enchant a hopper, oh, all bets are off at that point. Aside from books, is there anything you can enchant that doesn't have durability? I'm trying to think. I mean, potions kind of have that shimmery thing, but they're not really enchanted. But is there anything you can enchant that isn't a tool or armor of some kind? It would be really weird to enchant stuff that didn't necessarily have like a durability and a breaking point. Why don't I upload survival guide videos on weekends? Because doing 7 videos a week would probably be the death of me. I need to have a break at some point. Yeah, I guess enchanted golden apples are already enchanted, but it's not like you can make those. So I feel like my point still stands. Did I have a point? I can't remember. Man, all these wither skeletons and not one has the decency to drop a skull for us. You can enchant carved pumpkins. Oh yes, of course, you can give them like cursor binding and stuff. Can you give them anything else? Can you have a pumpkin with like... because they don't really have any kind of protection rating, do they? So... it's just mob heads with curses. Interesting. What efficiency does this pickaxe have? It's efficiency 5, but I think you can break netherrack instantly with anything efficiency 3 and higher on a diamond pickaxe. I'm pretty sure you can insta-mine it with a gold pickaxe without efficiency enchantments, but obviously it'd break in about 40 blocks at that point, so I don't recommend doing that. You think my laugh is cute? Why are you apologizing for that? That's fine. You're allowed. Wait, you have Twitch? No, I don't. This is all an illusion. Smoke and mirrors. Yes, I stream on Twitch. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. Projectile deflection enchantment for a shield? Yeah, no, that'd be cool. If you could, like, rebound them Captain America style. Oh, that'd be so good. I've no idea how they would calculate that, though. I expect that would make arrows really laggy. Because they had to do so many more calculations about, like, how they would deflect. I mean, that's not a reason to not want it. But yeah, I feel like they could do some really fun stuff with mechanics like that. The next episode of Minecraft Survival Guide is going to be me making a TNT-powered tree farm. That is coming out on Monday. Wolf with 100 bits. You can see if I had a trunk in my junk, so I can put some junk in the trunk. For a second, I completely forgot that ship I'd built was called a junk, and I thought you were just doing some weird Black Eyed Peas reference. Welcome along, Wolf. Good to see you. Thank you for the 100 bits. Enjoyed dropping into your stream the other day. But yes, that is my junk. Make the shield a projectile. Yes! Oh, so good. Also, we want round shields with Some sort of star-shaped banner that you can put on them. Star-spangled, if you will. Is the TNT duped or legit? No, I haven't done anything about TNT duping. TNT duping would be a whole episode in its own right, I think. Any kind of, like, entity duplication thing. Not to mention the fact that those mechanics aren't going to be evergreen, because they're probably going to be patched at various points, and so, like, the only reason I did the bedrock breaking thing was because I knew it was going to get, like, potentially fixed in 1.14, and I wanted to do it earlier, but, like, yeah, TNT duping is a whole different can of worms, really. And it's also not strictly necessary to make farms like that. I will also warn you that my TNT tree farm is not all that great compared to some other farms that you may have seen, but that's also not the point for me, so if you're going to turn up in my comments complaining that I haven't built the most efficient farm ever, then you probably want to go and watch somebody who makes efficient farms instead of somebody who's trying to explain how mechanics work in a vague sort of way. And also, with a lot of these farms, it's my first time making them, so yeah, I hope to get better in the long run, but I'm probably not going to meet everybody's standards of how well I do stuff. Have I done a survival guide about making a dope beat with note blocks? I haven't. I should probably do some more of that stuff. Would I be happy if there was concrete stairs and slabs? I think so, yeah. Although there are pretty soon going to be enough stairs and slabs that you could almost create the illusion of concrete having stairs and slabs by just making everything else half a block down. I mean, spawning restrictions aside, you could probably make it look like concrete had slabs just by putting natural stone slabs all around it. You can create an illusory attempt at that. Where are the... There they are. Everything stairs and slabs. It's like an everything bagel. There's just one pixel from every block in Minecraft. Plus raisins. Hey, Jackie boy, welcome along. Glad you can make it to today's stream. Hope you're having a good day. 300 people watching right now as well. Thank you guys so much for turning up. Sharing your Sunday with me. I do appreciate it. I hope you're a fan of placing stone slabs, because we're going to be doing that a lot. This is smooth stone now as well. I'm still not used to the name. And we got a raid coming in as well. Amazing stuff. Gibbet Gaming coming through with a party of 14. Hello, hello. Welcome along, raiders. Good to see you. Those emotes, though. So cool looking. Hello, welcome. How is everyone? Hope you're all having a lovely day. Hope Gibbet's stream was good. What were you guys up to today? Ace with the host, thank you. Doing fantastic. Been working on the Bamboo District and hunting witherheads. Oh, very cool. I've been doing that kind of unexpectedly here in the Nether, but yeah, still working on the Nether Hub. So the wither skeletons will wander in from time to time from these little outcroppings of Nether Fortress. We're working on that though. We're working on making it a little bit more spawn-proof. Do I play any sports? Not really. I don't really get that much time outside, to be honest. Fibro Wolf, thank you for the host. Oh, there he is. I knew he was around here somewhere. Stupid blazes. But yeah, when I spend any time out of the house getting some exercise, I tend to cycle, which I don't really do for sport. I just do it for the sake of exercise. Esports. Yes, if Minecraft was an esport. If survival Minecraft in particular was an esport. My favourite farm in Minecraft right now is farming blazes, mainly because this guy over here is annoying me and I want him dead. And it would really help. There we go, if I could actually hit him. No, to be real, my favourite farms are probably either general purpose mob farms, because they're nice and easy to make in the grand scheme of things, or when you find a skeleton spawner. Especially if you find a couple of them in a row, because it's one of those farms I always need in the early game. It's great to have an infinite source of bows, arrows, armor, bone meal. Bones in particular are kind of the most important thing out of a skeleton farm for me. And I always enjoyed making those spawner trap farms. Like, they always just seemed like a very accessible entry-level farm to make, because all you've got to do is stand near it, direct the mobs through a water stream into whatever kill mechanism you have. In 1.14 you won't need the bones, you can use an iron farm for the bone meal. Yes, I know. I've not set my iron farm up yet, because I'm waiting to see if some designs are affected by 1.14.2. But, yeah, I will hopefully be able to get one of those set up soon, and poppies will do the rest. But I found those composters work a little bit slow. And, yeah, you can probably get a ton of poppies from a high-yield iron golem farm, but I think it's still nice to have a decent supply of bones. Hey, Cosren, welcome along. Good to see you. Yes, Paranor is right. A new video is always coming along. I have Monday's video recorded already, because I try and record at least a day ahead of where I'm at. Am I going to update the Villager Trading Hall or Breeder yet? Eventually, yes. Probably not right away. But it might be on the list to do, if not this week, then next week. Because there are already people kind of showing how easy it is to update those trading halls. And now we know more about villager mechanics, it should be nice and straightforward. Double chest of bone meal in one day, is that enough? I mean, yes and no. I went through more than a double chest of bone meal with the tree farm I just made. Actually, maybe not quite a double chest of bone meal, but give me a double chest of bones and we're in business. But I AFK'd at my mob farm this morning for a little while and we have a decent amount of bones in that now. Do I have a recommended iron farm for 1.14? It totally depends what you want, because you can make a very high-yield iron farm if you are on a single-player world with a decent enough computer that it's not going to lag out your space, or if you're on a server, you might want to consider one that's a little bit more conservative, which is why I'm waiting for Doc M and Captain Wutax's farm to be made viable in 1.14.2. Because that one seems like you can get a really decent yield of iron for, like, 3 or 4 villagers, basically. I am not playing on PS4. But yeah, villagers tend to make a lot of pathfinding lag right now, and hopefully that's going to improve as performance improves in the 0.2 and 0.3 updates for 1.14, but In the meantime, yeah, having a bunch of entities just hanging out in your spawn chunks, especially if your server is not particularly well optimized, is perhaps a concern. Music went really quiet. Yeah, no, the Minecraft soundtrack has a lot of dynamic range. It's got a lot of big kind of orchestral swells, and then it just goes all quiet again for a couple of seconds. How did I make my skin? It's on needcoolshoes.com. They have a player editor. And there are a bunch of different places you can do it. Novaskin.me is another one. But I always found Novaskin to be a kind of laggy website, and it didn't really work very well for me when I started out. I had a kind of outdated MacBook at the time that, yeah, for whatever reason, the browser I was using really didn't play well with Novaskin, whereas NeedCoolShoes works pretty well. You can design your own one there, download it straight from that, and upload it at minecraft.net. Yes, Jackie boys. Subtitles are very useful. I agree. Chuck out the fences, we don't really need those. Which part of England am I from? I'm originally from Hampshire. I grew up around Southampton, but now I live in Brighton. Out here trying to find coal and you keep finding diamonds. You don't need this. That rich life. Am I right? Thought about using real subtitles for my speech as well. I've thought about it, yeah. I haven't quite figured out where I would put them on my layout yet. But I also would like to be able to, like, if I get partnered and I can stream in 1080 again. It's not that I can't stream in 1080 now, but I want to stream in 720 just in case we don't get quality options on a stream. I kind of want to mess around with my layout a little bit again, and that way the subtitles don't have to take up so much of the screen. It's the best farm to make in terms of yield and the amount of work you put in. Best farm for what? Are you talking for anything here? Hey, Jesse, high five, what's up? Best XP farm. Oh, okay. Enderman farm then. Probably Nembon's Ender Mini. It's potentially a high-risk farm if you're not used to, like, building stuff over the void. That can be a little bit dangerous, but if you've got an elytra, you should be fine. But right now, the two best other mobs to make XP farms from, really, are Blazes and Guardians. And the Guardian farm is a huge amount of work if you want to build one like the one I have. And there are obviously different types of farms, but not all of them are configured for XP. A lot of them are just for drops. And then Blaze farms are kind of broken right now because Blazes aggro when you hit them, and that transfers aggro to the other Blazes. All mobs seem to aggro when you hit them, and they never used to do that, which is Very annoying to me. Make room on the screen, the stream for a fox cam. It would be great if the foxes were reliably in my garden, but the reason I've been able to post so many pictures of them is that they're there early in the morning when I get up, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a fox I can photograph. Oh yeah, Furnace XP farms are good too, but then you've got to have a decent source of stuff to smelt, and unless you want to build one of those zero-tick cactus farms, which I recommend giving it a try, but it's potentially a little bit technically challenging. Yeah, it's not going to accrue enough XP to really mend your tools and stuff for a while. You just want a high-yield cactus farm to get in there in the first place. What am I building at the moment? I'm working on my Nether Hub. As you can see from the amount of netherrack and stone around me. Any idea how to get rid of zombie pigment aggro? I don't know if that's very easy to do in this update. You may just need to run. Because you're supposed to be able to run 40 or so blocks away from them and then they forget about you. But apparently that's kind of bugged in this update, so... Oh, if you're in single player, yeah, I guess you can switch from peaceful back to... Switch to peaceful and then back to normal. That's a decent strategy, although obviously if you've got anything trapped in the area at the time that's like a name-tagged mob or something that could despawn, then that's a concern too. But a zero-tick cactus farm uses this kind of technique of zero-ticking pistons, by which it means sending a pulse that is shorter than one game tick to a piston, and you can use that to push blocks like sand or dirt underneath a plant, and it pushes them faster than the game can register. So in the case of cactus, for example, it doesn't break. But what it does instead is transmits a growth tick to the cactus, and once it receives 12 growth ticks, it automatically grows, meaning that if you end up zero-ticking cactus a bunch of times, then you can basically force cactus to grow, where previously you just have to wait for it to grow randomly. Hope. Hello, Uru. What kind of farms have I not built yet? I have probably got more farms left to build than I have already built. There's tons of stuff I can make. The next things I want to try are probably an Enderman farm. I want to farm some creepers exclusively from like a dark room mob farm, And then I think witches is probably going to have to happen at some point. But the Enderman farm is probably the one that is overdue at this stage. The pickaxe has efficiency 5. This one's got silk touch. I've got another one with fortune. Unbreaking 3 and mending. But yeah, I have a list of stuff that I want to build. In terms of farms, in terms of building projects. Basically, if I can make a tutorial about it, then I will try. Having multiple Enderman farms affect spawn rates. If they were all being used at once, yes. Because Endermen are the only thing that can spawn in the end, and the kind of high-capacity Enderman farms basically rely on that being the only space in the end that Endermen are spawning. Java Minecraft doesn't have the same rules about mob density that Bedrock does, so it's possible to spawn a huge amount of mobs if there is only one valid spawnable area for them. How to get fortune? An enchantment table. Same way you get any enchantment except for, I guess, mending and frostwalker. Already people getting worried about the pickaxe. The pickaxe is fine. It can take care of itself. Don't worry about it. Let's get another shulker box, though. That didn't work. This is the problem now with having this as your nether portal. Is that a ghast through there? Oh no, it's just the other side of this room. Okay, good. Yes, Frostwalker is a treasure enchant. I think it was added at the same time as mending, but you can only get it from books. Or occasionally on enchanted gear that you find in loot chests, like in the end. Do I ever play with followers and subs? Not really. I just spend so much time doing work in the survival guide world that I don't even have time to play on my Patreon server, really. Everything I do here is basically geared towards preparing more content for my YouTube series. And I don't always have time to play with other people as a result. Which is a shame, I know, but practically it's one of those things that I can only have so much time in the day. I have done streams from, like, public servers in the past and stuff, just not for a while. Almost a full year of survival guide. Yeah, we're at, like, 10 months or something now. Which is pretty nuts when you think about it. Is this just netherrack? Okay, that's the other stuff too. Cool. Can you dye a shulker box? Yeah, you can. If you're asking if I'm going to do it, probably not. Not these ones, anyway. How do I keep coming up with ideas for episodes? There's still just stuff to do in Minecraft. It's as simple as that, really. Like, if there's something to do in Minecraft, I want to do it. So it's a lot of the time it's not even necessarily my idea. It's just what people do as throughout the course of a survival let's play. I follow a lot of people who play Minecraft on their channels basically every day. So as a result, I have no shortage of ideas because the people I watch are always making new stuff. And there are so many different things to explore in this game. We haven't even gotten that deep into what you can do in this game. Have I thought of next project in Survival Guide? Yes. Yeah, like, the possibilities in Minecraft are pretty much endless. Is netherrack a good source for a furnace XP farm? I mean, anything you can smelt is a good source for a furnace XP farm. I think there are some things that give you more XP, and so I think, generally speaking, people use cacti because it's a reasonable source of XP and also something that is infinitely reproducible. Do I live off of YouTube? I have YouTube, I have Twitch, and I have a part-time job as well. Collectively, these things all pay the bills. Castle didn't end up looking as good as mine. Keep trying at it. You'll get there. I made a lot of adjustments to the castle as I went. Like, it was one of those things where I did the outline and I thought, yeah, this looks great. But as I built it up, I realized that I had a lot of other stuff I wanted to correct. And then having toured Whip's world, he was the guy who basically, like, I took his castle tutorial as the foundation for mine, no pun intended. And yeah, he builds some pretty incredible stuff. And I'm pretty sure of the stuff that he showed me, like, all of his castle designs are just miles better than anything that I've done so far. But to be fair, this was also the first castle I've ever built on that kind of scale, and so I'm looking forward to trying my hand at some in future and seeing if I can outdo myself. Hugh, with 2 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the resub. Let's see some sub hype in the chat, please. New microphone? Only since about a month ago, I guess. But if you haven't seen me for a while, or if you haven't seen me at all, then yes, this microphone is totally new. Hey, Marta, good to see you. Hope you're well. Does my video about how to break bedrock work? No, it doesn't. I believe Frilioth has a tutorial on how to do it in 1.14, though, so check out his channel. Some other really great tutorials on that particular channel as well. And he and Avomance also have, like, basically their equivalent of, like, a Minecraft survival Let's Play, like mine. Called the Minecraft Manual, I think? Minecraft Survival Manual. It's cool that there's, like, a community of folks doing this stuff now. I mean, not that there wasn't before, but I feel like the tutorial Let's Play has really seen a resurgence lately. Because there are so many new mechanics that people want to learn about, and there's a lot of cool stuff to explain about the game now. So you've seen, like, Wattle's series, you got mine, you got Frilioth and Avomance's one. There's a bunch of people doing similar stuff out there. Kittycraft game, the recap is really funny. Yeah, thanks. I don't think it's out yet today because we finished the script literally like 2 hours ago. So his lawyer's probably going to be up late editing that one, but hopefully it should still come out today. Okay, 105 durability left. Let's switch pickaxes. How do I feel when I die in lava? Warm. To be honest, I haven't died in lava for a while. Again, hubris, I know. But, yeah, usually I'm equipped with stuff that is either going to help me out in lava or stuff that I can use to get out of lava. So, it's pretty easy to escape if you know what you're doing. Yeah, it's hubris. It has to be written in all caps for it to count. The mansion death was very sad. I mean, yeah. It was funny, though. Hubris has to be shouted like an old man saying, "Get off my lawn." I'll have to practice that. The only thing I can tell to get off my lawn right now is foxes, and they kind of leave when I do anything near them, so... We have 330 people here right now. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashley. That's very kind of you. Your most recent death was getting punched by a village iron golem. Dude, those things, like, if you do anything bad to villagers now, a golem will ruin your day. It's great. I actually kind of like the fact that they're a bit more volatile now. Speaking of volatile, hello! What are you doing spawning in the corner? Out. Out, damned spot. Do I have a empty? Yeah, I do have an empty shulker box. Good. Ayo, Fibro Wolf with another 100 bits. You deserve the support, buddy. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you. You keep up the good work, your good self, sir. Golems do so much damage. They do. It's great. I love their attack as well. They're just like, I don't care about you. Just like the Donkey Kong barrel throw motion. It's pretty awesome. What's my biggest build? Probably the castle that I've built at my my kind of main building area. Remember when I raided Boz and he was freaking out? Yeah, I like doing that stuff. We might see if we can find somebody who's got like 3 viewers and raid them at the end of this stream. It's going to be fun. It's part of what I look forward to about these streams now, especially with you guys showing so much support, is that we get to pass on that love to some other people around the Twitch community. And yeah, it's super fun just dropping a massive raid on people now. Showing a new player the Nether last night, forgot to tell her not to punch the pigmen. It's funny how attackable the pigmen seem to new players. They're just like, what the heck, there are these monsters everywhere, and yeah, nobody stops and wonders why they aren't attacking you right away. They're just like, well, it's a monster, I might as well punch it. Like, no, don't. I warned you. What's my favorite survival guide video? Oh, good question. I really like any of the ones where I end up doing a time-lapse, especially if I can do one that's like set to some cool music. Weirdly, I think one of my favorites is the video where I made the resource quarry and I was just digging out stone manually, just because the time-lapse in that was the first one where I used Mandragora, that track from the Arcadium's website, because I really wanted to find something good to do a time-lapse with that music, and just the frenetic piano plus running around and mining stone frantically, just I think that made for a really cool combination, you know? Hello? Computer's having a hard time keeping up with how many blocks I'm mining, which means I'm making progress. Your mum said you can't sub to me yet because she wants to look into it. Hey, it's fine. You don't got to be a subscriber to hang out here. Don't worry about it. If your parents want to spend money responsibly, I 100% respect that. I never do any, like, subscriber-only streams or anything like that, so you never have to worry about content being blocked off from you or not being able to chat. Just make sure the chat stays respectful so Paranor or somebody doesn't have to ban you. But yeah, don't worry about being subscribed if you're not able to, like, afford it or pay for it yourself or whatever. Don't worry about it. Emotes are fun, but it's also just about hanging out and having a good time. But yeah, also well done for your mum for actually taking the time to consider stuff like this. I feel like responsible internet parenting is difficult, so good work. Mythical Sausage is going to ask his mum too. There you go. Parental responsibility, folks. It's worth considering. And yeah, sharing out the stream is obviously a great way to support as well. That is how come I have 330 people here right now. Gotta take my laptop off sleep mode. There we go. There we go. Wish more parents at all paid more attention to what their kids do online. Yeah. The internet would be a slightly better place. I feel like anybody who starts like Twitter arguments and, you know, verbally abuses people online should just automatically have their parents like CC'd on that. I feel like we'd all use the internet a bit more responsibly. Instead of like cussing out people on Twitter. Just at your mum in the middle of this Twitter tirade and see how that works. Nah, that's not necessarily how the internet needs to be. I think we all just need to consider the fact that there are human beings on the other end of the... on the receiving end. I was going to say on the other end of the line, but then that sort of doesn't work with the internet. Dang it, old media, you've got all the good metaphors. Have I played Pocket Edition? I have not. I haven't really spent any time in versions of Minecraft other than the Xbox 360 version and then Java. Although I guess I played Windows 10 Edition, so that sort of counts as the same thing, but I haven't really played with a touch interface all that much, and I don't think that really appeals to me. I like the precision of control that you can get by playing with a keyboard and mouse, so it's a little bit like... not intimidating to me, but it feels very alien to me to use a touch interface to control this game. I don't think I'd have a very good time with it. You enjoy Pocket Edition for the fact that you can reach 8 blocks away. Can you? Is the reach distance bigger? That's really quite fascinating. I can see how they would probably create some sort of, like... what's the opposite of, like, a handicap? Thinking in terms of, like, golf handicap sort of thing. Like, a boon of sorts, I guess. Like, just a quality of life thing to make it a little bit easier if you're on a touch interface. I can understand that. I guess a buff, yeah. But, like, they kind of... they buff the, hit distance for tools and stuff. Oh, and yeah, crouching is totally different now, Joel. You're right. There's, I used to reflexively crouch when I was, even when I was, like, looking up at stuff. And I was, like, trying to place blocks. And there is a significant difference between, like, what you can reach that way and also what you can reach downwards. It's really interesting, and it's been quite difficult to get used to. I mean, not difficult as such, but the change is significant enough that it throws me occasionally. There we go. Touchdown. Some of these smooth stone slabs. We've only got a few stacks of those left. Yes, working on the Nether Hub. Windows Edition doesn't have crawl or adjusted crouch height. Oh, okay. I was wondering why people said you couldn't crouch, because you have to crouch in order to, like, use shields. But we're talking about crouching, not, like, crawling. I was thinking of slightly different things there. Crouch on scaffold all the time. And at least with like the bridge blocks of scaffolding, you only like sink down to the bottom half of the block instead of just like falling out of it. Because yeah, I would totally do that. I just naturally sneak everywhere because I don't want to fall off something. With scaffolding, it's a hard habit to unlearn, isn't it? See you later, Inno. Thanks for stopping by. You, what are you doing here? Walking down off your platform? Come get some. Scrubs. Netherrack box? Yeah. Don't discard the slabs, you fool. What are you doing? Alright, we're getting a little full here. I wonder if there's some area around here that we can still slab, or if that is all... It's all basically done. Oh no, there's some down here. Okay, cool. I just need to make some inventory space. Ooh, nice big chunky area that we can actually cover over. Good. In before we get shot by a ghast over here, right? Is it possible to reset the Nether in Java? I mean, technically, yes. It involves you deleting some files rather than on Xbox where you have, like, the menu option that lets you reset the Nether. I thought that for a second there was something weird going on. It turns out the gravel above me is snowing. It'd be nice if there were horizontal Nether portals. That would be pretty cool. Although it would require some instantaneous teleportation for them to really be effective, because if you like stood in a block in a Nether portal, that'd be one thing, but if you wanted a Nether portal you could just drop through and reappear in the overworld, it wouldn't work that way, because you drop through the Nether portal but it wouldn't teleport you. You have to stand in them for longer. Be like with the end portal. You just have to be teleported right away. It'll work in creative but not in survival with the current Nether portals. Those days and times. Thank you, Sephora. Am I still afraid of building in the Nether? No. I think I was only ever afraid of building in the Nether when I first started playing. Since then, I'm like, yeah. I can get by. It's still not the best, because there's still a chance of you getting fireballed by ghasts and shot by blazes and stuff. Especially because I'm an idiot and decided to build my Nether Hub where there was basically a Nether fortress right next door. What else do I plan on doing in the Nether Hub? Okay, so here's the plan. There is going to be another shorter border around the outside here. So basically another smaller circle on the inside. And around the perimeter, there's going to be representations of different biomes from the overworld. There might be one for the end, one for the nether as well, but we're obviously in the nether already, so that's not exactly fun. But I think we're going to do like a desert, a savanna, a mesa, plains biome, that kind of stuff, using what materials we can to kind of fake it out where the grass color would be really important. So like if we're having a plains biome, I'll probably use green concrete powder instead of having actual grass blocks, just so they look kind of worthwhile in the nether. And then on the inside there's going to be a giant compass rose. If you're not sure what one of those is, a compass rose is that kind of ornament in the corner of a map that shows you what north is, but there used to be some quite like ornately drawn ones in old maps, and so I'll probably do a quick Google image search and find a couple of those that I like and work on my own design. But then it's going to be nice to have one of those, because even though apparently, according to Joel, they've corrected the issues where if you went through a nether portal, you could end up facing the wrong direction. So you don't always know which way north is in the nether. I like the idea of having something that basically is a giant compass and immediately orients you to like which way north, south, east, and west is when you're in the nether, because that's kind of difficult, and aside from using the F3 screen, which is kind of a compromise most of the time anyway, it's difficult to navigate in the nether. So I like the idea of the hub basically being a thing that helps you navigate in so many different ways. So that's the idea. This giant circle is going to be basically both a compass and kind of like a diorama of all the biomes in the overworld. It's quite ambitious. It's going to take a while to do, which is why I'm starting all of this stuff on stream instead of making videos about it. Banners as map markers can work in the nether too. Yes, and you can sort of tell which direction you're headed on a banner if you move on a map in the nether if you move around, because even though it doesn't show you any of the landmarks or anything, it doesn't show you any of the terrain, and your character marker is spinning wildly, it will still track the direction in which you're going, and up on the map is still north. Loic the Gamer with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. And I appreciate the support. Thank you, Loic. One time you ended up a few thousand blocks away in the nether after using a portal. Did you do that thing where you ender pearled into it? Because, yeah, I've done that before. You'd like to thank me for the survival guide. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the series. Have I played the Total War franchise? I have not. I don't tend to do a great deal of gaming outside of what you see on my YouTube channel. I've been playing a bit of Breath of the Wild over the weekend, but aside from that, I have not played a great variety of games. I've never really had the money to play any of the newer stuff, and I don't tend to like free-to-play games either, which makes me a paradoxical gamer, if you want to put it that way. Mainly I like games like this, where I can buy them and then spend hours and hours playing them and not have to spend any more money on other games. Bit of a Scrooge. A game Scrooge, in that way. That should have been my my username. Instead of Pixel Riffs, I should have been Game Scrooge. See how far that gets you as a brand. Hey, Trable Mole. How much have I got done today so far? I think when we started out, I was less than halfway done with this, and now we are more than halfway done. That is about as much as I can tell you. But now we're back into demolishing a nether fortress, which we've tried our hand at in the past. It's a very long and time-consuming process, certainly more so than clearing out this netherrack is, so that might take a little while. But hey, that's what these streams are for. Survival Guide series has really boosted your drive to play Minecraft lately. That's great to hear, Kathor. I'm very flattered that people find the series fun enough that they want to pick up Minecraft again. That is always great news to hear. Hello. Why do you put stone slabs down to block pigmen spawns? Yeah, basically. I want the entire floor of this, once it's decorated, to be covered over with like a glass floor so that I can walk out above it and look down onto the design that we build down here. I don't want mobs to be running around all over it when I do that. And so using bottom half slabs for each of these areas around here. For a start, using smooth stone slabs means that it forms a grid. So if I want to plan anything out block for block as a design, the grid is going to make that a heck of a lot easier. But also, yeah, it basically means no pigmen are going to spawn down there, so I don't get to see like tons of mobs running around everywhere. Wither effect is like poison, but it can kill you. It's the only real difference between wither and poison, is that wither will actually cause you to die if you don't regenerate enough health or cure it. Fun fact. Fun fact, you may die. What I'm making today, I am mostly tearing down some sections of netherrack and a nether fortress so that I can continue building my nether hub. Funny how the wither is harder than the ender dragon. And some people thought it was weird that I fought the ender dragon before the wither in my survival series, and I'm like, which one would you rather fight? I'm pretty sure I would rather fight the ender dragon. I find the wither is a difficult boss fight sometimes. Even if you're a veteran of the game, it can still catch you by surprise. Yes, I plan on making a witch farm. As Paranor says, the plan is to do everything eventually. But I have a really great position for a witch farm, so I'll probably end up tackling that in the near future. Probably during June. My wife is actually going away to the United States for a few weeks in June, so streams may be a little bit more frequent because, like, the only routine I have to worry about is my own. And I will probably end up doing a lot of grind work for stuff like a witch farm and various other things here on stream, and I'll be able to dedicate a little bit more of my day to producing survival guide episodes, so we might be able to get some more ambitious projects done in June. I'm not going to promise anything because, of course, I have to take care of myself. You know, real-world responsibilities still exist, but it would be fun to go a little bit ham in June and end up doing some bigger and more ambitious stuff. Today's stream is probably going to go on for another, I'd say, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, if we stretch it a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, I've died 6 times in the world so far. Let's download my statistics and find out. Still really weird that you have to download those. Like, why? How is this not just stored in the data? No player kills still. Still, yeah, there we go. 6 deaths total. Let's see if we can find how many mobs I've killed. That's usually in here. Mob kills, 34,443. Still a pretty good KD as far as I'm concerned. Might put some of this netherrack in the furnace just for the sake of it. Cook more things. And we're still actually pretty good for blaze rods, which is a surprise to me, but I'm cool with that, I guess. And yeah, there we go. So that's all smooth stone slabs now. Let me put some of this stone away in here. We won't need that for a little while. And then we need to make a few more shulker boxes, and we're going to start filling those with probably nether fortress parts. The best way to get XP, there are several, and I don't know if I would necessarily recommend one over the other, but some good XP farms include ones involving furnaces and large quantities of stuff being smelted. Enderman XP farms are always very good in terms of like high yield and stuff like that. You can farm the Ender Dragon for XP if you want a challenge. Good luck with that, though. And there's a bunch of other stuff we can do. The Guardian farm I've built is probably not better than, say, Nembon's Enderman farm. But the Guardian farm gets you Prismarine, which is nice. And While it's obviously great to have a nice supply of ender pearls as well, I don't necessarily need them all that much. Anyway, I am going to take a very short break, just for the second. I'm going to go and refresh my cup of tea, I think, and run to the bathroom. Bear with me. I will be back in a few minutes' time. Hello. It's me. Hope you've all enjoying the chair facts. Need to get a haircut. I think I might do that this week. Oh, we had a sub while I was out. Somebody subscribed to the chair. SE Bike 001, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. The chair thanks you. The chair appreciates your support, and so do I. Welcome to the Pixels. This week's episode of Funtime Chair Facts was brought to you by Hubris, apparently. I want to give a shout out to everyone who supports Funtime Chair Facts. Keaton, loving the Survival Guide series to death. Been binging it like crazy. You're on episode 20 after like 5 days. Hey, great job. I appreciate the support, my man. Mob spawner is good for XP? I mean, yep. Anything that gives you XP is good for XP. Santo! And Keaton as well with the Twitch Prime subs. Back-to-back Twitch Prime subs in, like, seconds of each other. You guys rule. Welcome, both of you, to the Pixels. Thank you so much. How does one support chair facts? By appreciating the people who provide chair facts. Kuro, in particular, seems to be the originator of Funtime Chair facts. What do I love more, my wife or Minecraft? I mean, my wife, obviously. I'm not married to Minecraft, am I? Come on, guys. What do I want to add in Minecraft? My wife, evidently. It would be a great improvement. Oh, somebody gifting a sub to Kuro. Thank you, Anonymous, for supporting Funtime Chair Facts. Very kind of you, Kuro. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you, Anon. And Shasta with the 2 months of Twitch Prime. Man, the sub hype is real right now. Thank you guys so much. Sub train is leaving the station. Picking up speed already. Place a bacon into the nether. I mean, there's already enough bacon walking around here, if you know what I mean. Yeah, thank you for completely avoiding me, Zombie Pigman, while I was trying to make bacon jokes. Great work there. Great improv partner you are. Should make a statue of my wife in Minecraft. That would be a fun build, actually. Liara, catching the train. Thank you so much for the resub. 9 months. That is a Twitch baby, ladies and gents. Thank you for the support. Arrow, that is probably not a joke you should be making. Just saying. The eyes are everywhere. They're watching you. I like that I'm introducing some people to the concept of Twitch baby. You discovered on an earlier stream how you can't insta-mine nether brick with a haste beacon. No, sadly no. You need haste 4, basically, to insta-mine nether brick, which is not obtainable in survival. You can do it with commands, but you ain't allowed to do that. Tempting though it is. Why don't I break it with TNT? TNT is messy, and it can potentially end up attacking zombie pigmen, and right now zombie pigmen, if they get aggroed, they do not de-aggro. And I would rather not have to build the Nether Hub with vast amounts of zombie pigmen running around after me all the time. So in this case, I will avoid TNT. Also, TNT is a pain to make, and I have such a limited supply of it right now, and I don't really feel like AFKing for more gunpowder or learning how to dupe TNT in the middle of the stream. So appreciate the suggestion, but I will probably just do this by hand. It's also nice to be able to just talk to the chat while I do this stuff. Like, part of the reason I want to do some of these grindier streams is so that I can spend a little bit more time talking to people. Wish you could make TNT from 100% farmable resources. I mean, technically sand is now farmable thanks to wandering traders, but they don't trade enough of it for it to be really renewable, and they're not reliable enough. So yeah. Then again, you can duplicate sand through various nefarious means if you really want to. I did get my stuff back from the Woodland Mansion, yes. I have it in the following episode, basically. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, I explain at the start that I went back and got it pretty easily. I have a backup set of Elytra and fireworks in my shulker boxes, so I just went and got it. It wasn't a big deal. Do I play Minecraft when I'm not recording or streaming? Anytime I play Minecraft, it is basically planning for content for my YouTube series. So it's not that I don't play Minecraft off camera, but whenever I do it, I'm playing it so that I can show you some stuff on camera. Yeah, just going to store the nether brick and the netherrack for now. I will probably do some stuff with it later, but the nether brick from taking down parts of the nether fortress near my wither skeleton farm is mostly still there. The stuff I didn't use on the castle roof, I ended up just keeping over at the wither skeleton farm for now. But it'll be useful for building stuff later on, further down the line. Building an abandoned desert civilization in your single-player world. Any advice for building terrain features such as mountains? Well, if you're building a desert, then make a lot of sandstone slabs and try and make things like as geological looking as possible. You love that even I die in Minecraft. Yeah, I'm not some kind of like bulletproof Minecraft player. Have I done computer programming? No, not really. I've never really had the patience to learn to code stuff. I'm a lot happier playing people's games than I am, like, making my own. I have a couple of fun ideas that I've always wanted to see happen in games, but I think I'll hold on to those for the future. Haste potions would be good, yeah. Especially if you could get haste 4. If it was like a shorter duration than the kind of infinitely renewable thing you could do with the beacon. But it would allow you to mine nether brick for like 3 seconds at a time. Just so I could go and just get rid of all of this. If it was a suspicious stew ingredient, that'd be kind of great. Am I a Hermitcraft recap guy? I am a Hermitcraft recap guy. One of two. Collect the whole set. A 30-second haste 2 potion that stacks with the beacon. That'd be cool. Stacking potion effects would be kind of fun. Nightbot is the other Hermitcraft recap guy. Apparently. Stealing my thunder now. Stop, I created you. What is a recap guy? That's a philosophical question I'm not sure I'm ready to answer. How does a Hermitcraft recap? The robots are taking over. Can you imagine a really robotic voice hosting the Hermitcraft recap? This week on Hermitcraft. XI Zuma Void. Fiberwolf gets recapped every day. I know, I've seen your flat cap on streams. Gotta make sure you're looking your best. Off to cook the kids' tea. Have a good one, Mr. Badger Seth. Make sure they eat their greens. Wish tipped arrows were more practical. I know, they always feel like a bit of an overlooked feature. But then again, there are different play styles that can accommodate that kind of stuff. Like, somebody pointed out a little while ago that Suspicious Stew that has regeneration is a really good thing to have in UHC, but it's virtually useless in ordinary survival Minecraft. Like, it's really great to have if you have natural health regen turned off, and I hadn't thought of that, really, because I never really play UHC, so that was a bit of an eye-opener in terms of, like, hey, there are different ways people play this game, remember? Need a shave and you can't wait until next month. Oh, aren't you shaving your beard off for charity? If anyone's not following Fibro Wolf, by the way, drop the man a follow, because charity streams are coming up, and that's a good cause to donate to. Children's Hospice, wasn't it? Thank you, Paranor, for dropping the shout-out link. What does Smite do on a sword? Deals extra damage to undead mobs, including the Wither. So a Smite sword is actually pretty useful when you're fighting the Wither, zombies, skeletons, phantoms, that kind of stuff. Outside of that, Smite isn't all that great, though. If it doesn't do extra damage to creepers, I don't want it. How many slaps do I have in my inventory now? Whoosh. Lots. 2 stacks and change. Someone even suggested a glitter beard. Oh, you don't want to do that. You'll never see the end of it. Glitter goes everywhere and you just can't get rid of it. It never disappears. Wasn't there like a documentary about that or something recently where glitter basically just stays in the world forever and never decays and doesn't biodegrade? And yeah, I feel like glitter is a more like dangerous, pervasive substance than people give it credit for. Whoa! Hi there. Sharpness for the win, exactly. Goofball Train, just started watching the survival guide and they help you so much. Keep it up. Hey, thank you. You keep up watching, I'll keep up making them. Smite should deal extra damage to Zloy. Anybody who's got a zombie-themed skin takes extra smite damage. Who are my Minecraft idols? Basically everyone from the Hermits. That's pretty much it, really. I tell you who got me into Minecraft originally was the Yogscast, and in particular Martin Littlewoods. Watching him got me into survival Minecraft in a big way. Watching his like Kingdom of the Saplings series and stuff. There's definitely people who I don't necessarily, like, idolize as such, but I would love to meet them at some point. I feel like I'm not the kind of person to, like, go in for idolizing people, though, because it's not necessarily, like, a healthy thing to do. You always end up getting disappointed by your heroes, ain't that the truth? But, like, yeah, it'd be super fun just to, like, sit down and chat with a bunch of people who I feel like were instrumental in my channel being what it is today. Littlewood is one of those. I really want to meet OMG Chad at some point and just give the man a hug and thank him for doing that shout-out video he did for me ages ago. Basically, like, the first big kick my channel got. Love to meet Mumbo. He's the reason you got into Redstone. Mumbo's a lovely guy in person as well. Yeah, he's a very nice dude. I have had the pleasure of meeting him on one occasion when we both went to that Minecon Earth event in 2017 at the Copper Box. And that was fun. Got to meet him, False, and Grian. Before Grian was even part of Hermitcraft as well, but obviously he was incredibly well known already. Oh, Norna, your husband and you were working on the Guardian Farm tutorial? That's awesome. Glad to hear that design's getting around. All credits CubFan135 for the design. This is how come the pigmen keep spawning out here. So they spawn on these things and drop off. Because they don't seem to worry too much about pathfinding right now. I don't know if they ever did, but they tend to like take full damage more often than I would expect. Yes. And the chicken jockeys are a little bit nuts too. We all tapped out here, I guess. Yeah, we'll put some in here. Let's put this quartz away as well. And that one piece of cobblestone I have. A silverfish spawn is useless. I mean, technically no, because you can use them to farm silverfish. They're just awful to deal with, and I wouldn't want to, like, actually keep one around. I think in future I might save one from a different stronghold just for the sake of having done it. I'm pretty sure Etho did something like that in his Let's Play series. Just for the sake of being able to do something about the silverfish. But yeah, there's really no reason for them. Can grass grow in the nether? Yes. A lot of stuff in the nether doesn't need natural, like a lot of natural stuff in Minecraft doesn't need sunlight. Because they want players to be able to explore and do stuff in the nether and that kind of stuff, so keeping things too realistic in terms of the mechanics isn't particularly worthwhile from a game dev point of view. Trayball, this is probably not going to be my most time-consuming build. I'd say the castle probably has this beat. Castle took ages. I was just able to do that in a bunch of videos because I had a fair amount of time on my hands. Only thing you can't grow in the nether is sugarcane. Yeah, because you need water. It would be kind of cool if you could grow sugarcane next to cauldrons. Because cauldrons will still allow you to place water sources in the nether, but it's not like a water source that you can use in the traditional way. You can stand in it, which is a good tip if you're on fire. But then it's always been difficult getting into a cauldron in the first place, so. How'd I rate the Guardian farm compared to this in time spent? I haven't really been keeping track. I think once I am done with the entire floor of this, I will probably have spent as much time doing this as I did on the Guardian farm. But I've only really been doing this on streams. Whereas the Guardian farm was mostly done for videos, and so we didn't do a great deal of that on a stream. It's also difficult to get into a cauldron in real life. That's the voice of experience there, Fry. You know those weekends where you just get into a cauldron? Or try to, at least. What's my favourite tea flavour? The stuff I drink most often is just English breakfast tea. But I've been branching out lately. I like me some smoky Lapsang Souchong. I tried some Assam recently, and that was nice. I like fruit tea and stuff, though, as well. So occasionally I'll pick up some stuff from our local tea shop, which has a great variety of blends. But it really depends. Depends on the weather. Majority of the time it's just English breakfast, but that with a bit of milk, bit of Yorkshire tea with milk is my go-to. Favorite survival guide project is probably the castle in terms of builds, and I'm still very happy with the Guardian farm. It's definitely been a worthwhile thing to have too, because with the Blaze farm broken, it's really my main source of XP for mending my tools. Cauldron was the first tip you gave someone how to put themselves out. Oh, it lowers the water level? I didn't realise that. I don't think that was the case when I was playing on Xbox, and that's probably the last time I actually used that tip, but it was one of those things that I was like, now I've learned about that, I can't not do it. Each cauldron dunking takes a bottle's worth. Wow! There you go, learn something new on this stream. The student has become the master. Are sticky pistons kind of glitchy at the moment, or is it just yours? How are you powering them? Because observers were glitchy in one of the recent updates. And I think that may still be the case with the current full release with 14.1. So if you're powering them with observers, that might be the reason. Been live for about 2 hours, 20 minutes. Nailed it. It's 3 seconds off. Yours are glitchy too, and yes, powered with Observer. That'll probably be the case then. Bring on 14.2. Is YouTube and Twitch my main job? At this point, it kind of is. It's not the only thing I do, because I also have a part-time job as well, but in terms of my main source of income, yeah, it's mainly this. Especially now the survival guide is doing so well, it's definitely improved things for me in recent months, for which I am, of course, incredibly grateful to everyone who's shown their support. You love video games, man, but you're new to Twitch. Well, you've come to the right place if you want video games. There's a lot of them here. I haven't got the full week's worth of videos planned, Traybormol, but I have done Monday's video already, and I have a decent idea of what I'm going to do on Tuesday. I think by the end of this week I might have tried to build an Enderman farm, so wish me luck. But hopefully at this point, next week, we'll already be playing in 1.14.2, and fingers crossed that update improves a lot of stuff about how everything is functioning right now. It's been really wild watching things blow up. Hey, it's been even wilder from my perspective, Liara. I did tell myself that this is going to be the year of going the whole hog, and so far it is living up to that title. You'll copy my Enderman farm. Hey, if you want to copy it before I even build it, look up Nembon's Ender Mini farm, because I'll probably be building that. Am I going to make an iron farm? Oh yeah, updating the iron farm is probably going to happen relatively soon. But as I keep saying, I'm sort of waiting to see if Doc M's new farm is still viable. If not, we'll probably just make a stopgap iron farm in the meantime. Just the usual sort of thing with as many villagers and as many beds as we care to put in there. All you really need to do is make as much of the floor unspawnable as possible until you have a spawning platform for the golems. Like it's fairly straightforward to make an iron farm. All right. Where's that guy? Is he up here? Crackling? Oh yeah, there you are. Set me on fire, will you? Oh, I've got some gold here that I never picked up. How strange. Like the iron farm when 1.14 first came out, using leads to get the golems to the trap. Yeah, golem pathfinding really sucks in this version. They're supposed to be able to detect mobs from much further away. So the idea of that iron farm seemed a lot more viable to me at the time, and now I'm just like, wasn't really worth it. And no, the villagers are still, like, pretty dopey, but they will actually pathfind to their beds in houses now. In this update, they also know where meeting points are again, and yeah, a variety of the issues with villagers have been fixed for the most part. The main problem with them now is that they don't understand the concept of upstairs. So, like, if there is a bed on the bottom floor of a house and a bed on the top floor of the house, they can't find their way to the top floor. They don't understand how that works. Which is a real shame, because it stops you from building nice-looking villages beyond just having a very traditional, flat, like, ranch housing style to the whole thing. Find villagers sleeping upstairs all the time in Bedrock Edition. Yeah, I expect there's so many things that can be coded differently because it's a different programming language that I would strongly expect there will be a lot of changes and a lot of things that are better in one version than the other. Villagers just like bungalows. There's a blaze somewhere shooting at me. Goodness knows where. Villagers think in 2D. They don't think at all, that's the problem. Well, I know what we're going to be doing for Chopping Tuesday this week, because there's a lot more of this to clear out, and I'm not going to be able to finish it today. Is Java or Bedrock better? It depends what you want. Bedrock runs a lot smoother, but does not have the reliability of mechanics in some cases that Java does. And a lot of the farm designs and kind of player-made contraptions that you find on YouTube will have been designed in the Java edition, so it becomes increasingly frustrating if you're a Bedrock player trying to find stuff that works in your version of the game. Which is why the majority of my YouTube comments on anything where I have a farm in the video is just, does this work on Bedrock? But then again, Bedrock's performance is a lot better because it's coded in a programming language that allows for easier rendering. You can have vast render distances, like visually speaking. Bedrock is a pretty good version of the game. Bedrock is also more accessible to players who have consoles and tablets and that kind of thing. So it's about the play environment as much as it is the mechanics of the version. So it's really your call. Personally, I'm Java all the way, but that's just because it's what I've been playing. On Whip's perspective of the tour of his worlds, when we started to hit like a few lag spikes and stuff while we were loading areas of his world where there was like a lot of lighting updates happening, specifically around all that custom terrain where he's built those mountains and underneath it is just hollow. Somebody in the comments basically said, like, seriously guys, you should play on Bedrock Edition. There are no like laggy spots or anything. It's great. And it's funny because technically speaking they're right, but so much of the other stuff that we do in terms of like making resource farms and stuff isn't as easy to do or is different in Bedrock Edition, and a lot of the time those resource farms are what help you gather so much of the stuff you need to maintain and build a survival world. And if you can't rely on that stuff, then it becomes more of a challenge to commit to something like a Bedrock world. Like if passive mob farms, darkroom mob farms, don't work and allow you to collect so many different types of resources at once, then it just becomes a struggle to get stuff like gunpowder and bones in large quantities, unless you've got specifically like a skeleton spawner for something. I feel like Windows 10 Edition is also kind of peak Bedrock. Like, in terms of all of the versions that I would want to play. I think I don't want to sacrifice playing with a keyboard and mouse. Personally, you think the graphics and animations are better on Java? I kind of agree. I don't think there's that much of a difference, really, now. But I feel like Java is more customizable. So on Java, you have, for example, a much more in-depth music and sound options, which doesn't sound like such a big deal, but being able to turn down the sounds of hostile mobs and other creatures independently. Seabass with the 3 months of Twitch Prime, thank you. And thank you, Quinn, for the 100 bits as well. But, like, yeah, being able to turn down individual aspects of the sounds, even though some of them don't quite add up on Java Edition, is just so useful compared to just have one slider for music and one slider for sound. Like, when Zloy and I fought the Ender Dragon in our Cobble Clicker series, which was on Windows 10 Edition Bedrock, the dragon was just so loud. And there was no way of me balancing that with his voice when we were trying to record a collab, so I actually had to turn it down when I was editing the video. Because the dragon's, like, noises were just distorting my sound input on my recording software. And I feel like Java has that. It has, like, a greater variety of, you know, customization options. Primarily because that's how you optimize the game for your computer, because there are so many performance issues. Like, that's how the Java edition runs, is like, if your computer hardware isn't good enough to do all of this stuff, here's a bunch of video settings that allow you to turn that stuff down. Which is a problem overall for the platform, but it does allow Java a greater sense of customization, which is absent from the Bedrock game, right? Yeah, and Redstone, obviously, in Bedrock has a bunch of issues where it's not consistent, and there are some mechanics that are different, but I think a lot of the problem just comes from people who have learned to play Minecraft on Java Edition, not being able to make the switch to Bedrock because they have to relearn some of the mechanics that they've learned in the past. Like how Redstone works, and like... I'm trying to think of another option now. Like, another thing. Quinn is pointing out that debug is, yeah, another substantial thing. Like, being able to get stuff like coordinates and know what light levels are, and using all of that data allows for much more technical Minecraft play, which just isn't present in Bedrock, unless... I think now there are people producing behavior packs and scripts with the scripting API for Bedrock that are effectively allowing the same kind of stuff. Like, there is definitely a Bedrock pack that allows you to see where chunk boundaries are. Somebody in the Spawn Chunks Discord has, like, sent us screenshots with that before, and I had never seen that before, and I had no idea it was possible to do that in Bedrock. Of course, that is only on the Windows 10 edition, again, so it's only on a more heavily modifiable version of the game. You can't do that on Xbox or Switch, you know? Or if you can, I don't know how. And yeah, while it is definitely possible to see what a light level is just by looking at it and kind of judging based on experience and like testing stuff, that just makes the whole experience a lot more time consuming, I think, for Bedrock players. Then again, light levels haven't exactly been reliable in Java Edition since this update, but that's not intended, you know? And Bedrock players can have coordinates enabled, and it doesn't disable achievements or whatever, so that's fine for that. At least allows Bedrock players to do things like linking nether portals, which is such a crucial aspect of the game if you're playing in anything other than a casual survival world. The other thing I find distracting about playing Windows 10 Edition is that there is a little bit of an input lag when it comes to the controls. So I find Java much more responsive, and that may just be my system. That may just be something about the way I have my system configured, but there's like an ever so slight delay between me turning and the point of view actually turning on Bedrock Edition. And it's minuscule, but it's something that I notice because I'm quite detail-oriented. And it's something that I just can't get over. There's also like a weird thing in creative mode where you don't have as much inertia when you're flying around, and you don't have any momentum when you stop. When you stop in creative mode, when you're flying around in Bedrock, you stop dead, which is probably actually quite useful because you want more precision in where you're stopping in order to place a block. But with me being so used to flying around in creative mode in Java Edition, where you have to like slow to a stop when you stop flying, it just feels so unnatural. and I can't deal with that because it's not what I'm used to. But that's just like getting used to the difference between Bedrock and Java. That's not necessarily a deal breaker in the long run. It's just very weird. So yeah, that's the Bedrock versus Java portion of the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's craft some stairs out of all this nether brick, because otherwise I'm lose my mind trying to find places to put this. Pow. There we go. Make an auto-sorting system? Already have. It's all here. It's only on this floor, though, because upstairs I can't be bothered. Too many chests, too little time. Put that in there. Let's just combine all of this into regular nether brick. It's just going to be a stack. Why bother? Stone, 2 empty shulker boxes. Good. Okay. Time to grab some food and then go and repair the pickaxes, because those are getting a little bit worn down now. Let's grab some rabbits. I have loads of cooked rabbit in here. I guess we're eating rabbit now. I think rabbit and mutton are basically the same, aren't they? It's kind of like chicken. It's 3 shanks and a bit of saturation. I could grab food at the Guardian farm. I know. I know. A lot of fried fish over there. Would rather be able to fly over there, though. It'd be nice to actually have some ability to sprint. Does the survival guide go over rail and minecart mechanics? There isn't like an episode that's like, here is how rails work, but it's covered in a few videos. What do you want to know in particular? Because, yeah, I haven't done like introduction to rails or anything, because some minecart mechanics are a little bit weird to explain and some of them are kind of broken. And I think in a couple of videos where it's been relevant, I've covered things like the north, south, and east, west directionality of some of that stuff, but I've never really sectioned that out into its own guide, you know? Best XP farm to build mid-game? I mean, mid-game probably just a spawner farm. Just find yourself a skeleton or zombie spawner and do your best with that. Me and Python don't really have any plans for Harmony 2 right away. It's something we would love to do in future, and we're keeping in touch about that kind of stuff, but we're both having such good feedback to our single-player series that we're just going to keep doing these for now until we both kind of get bored of doing single-player stuff and want to do anything else, probably. Like, part of the reason Harmony was so good was because it was a break from vanilla Minecraft at a time when vanilla Minecraft felt sort of stale. And then 1.13 came out, and we just didn't feel like playing it anymore because the update Aquatic was great. How many blocks before you need to place a redstone rail? Depends. If the minecart is supposed to be traveling by itself, in the case of like a hopper minecart or something, then I think it's like every 8 or 10 blocks. But for players, they have more momentum when a player is in them, so I think it can be every 25. Something like that. So Southeast Mechanics, having issues running multiple locations on one track. Never thought the Dragon and Rail is your new favorite mode of transport. Yeah, multiple locations on one track. Yeah, it's not something that I'm an expert in. And I can't really recommend any great videos because a lot of people just use minecart stuff for, like, utilitarian, like, feeding furnaces and feeding stuff into hoppers these days. Like, there aren't that many people who've done, like, a beginner's guide to minecarts or anything. How many subtitles can you have at once? Lots. I think about 12. How do you install the Minecraft version you have? You buy it from Minecraft.net, and then you have a link to download it from there. I don't have armor because taking my armor off allows my tools to mend quicker. The armor is all in my inventory because otherwise it has mending, and that channels all the XP into my XP bar instead of where I want it to be, which is fixing my tools. So much XP from Guardians, yup. Do you get hurt by thorns if you hit Guardians with arrows or tridents? No! For example. Ta-da! I don't know about tridents, actually. I assume, yeah, if you throw a trident, I don't think it will do any thorns damage to you. I think it's just melee attacks, but then you have to fight the Guardians one at a time, and even with infinity on a bow, that sucks. Don't want to do that. What does the laser do? They charge up until it turns yellow, and then they hit you. Which is why you don't want it to go yellow. Have I ever gone into creative or set the game to peaceful to save myself from certain death? Not in this world. I've done it in the past in other worlds, but not in this one. I never on a server where it was meant to be like vanilla survival kind of thing. In like personal worlds here and there, or if I'm just testing stuff, then maybe, but... Hey Mad Dog, this isn't a server, this is my single-player worlds, where I make my tutorial series, The Minecraft Survival Guide. Welcome along if you're new to the stream. Great to have you on board. Could I demonstrate the yellow laser? Sure. Let's fish up a Guardian real fast. Ta-da! And then they hit you. Like, it turns green for a fraction of a second, and that's them basically scoring a hit on you. It does a lot of damage, but I have very good armor. Do I plan on making a drown farm? Yes. At some point, yes. In fact, one of the things I really want to do requires me to get another channeling trident. And we know what happened last time I had one of those. But there is a really cool Easter egg in this update where if you strike a mushroom cow with lightning, it turns into a brown mushroom. And then if you feed it a flower, you can get different types of suspicious stew from it. So I kind of want to do that, because that's another thing I haven't been able to explain or explore in this update. But that involves me getting a channeling trident again. And, yeah, last time wasn't great. Is the shield useful against guardians? No, they shoot through it. You can't defend against it. And a lot of the time they're swimming around you anyway in an ocean monument, so it's kind of difficult. Getting XP so I could mend my tools, Kittycraft game. If you look at the durability on these now, because they have mending, they're basically completely fixed. I had a channeling trident, I did. And then disaster struck. One tragic afternoon. Charged creeper flashbacks, yeah. Yeah, those guys. Tridents are easy to obtain on Bedrock. Yeah, thanks. I'm playing Java, though. It's always funny to me when people say that. It's like, yeah, I know. And they're hard to obtain on Java. What do you want from me? I'm clearing the nether so I can make a pretty nether hub. But I feel like maybe we should try and spend a little bit of time trying to find a trident. Tempting as it is to just make a drowned farm. Just make a drowned farm. One of my favourite things lately, and by favourite things, I mean the things that irk me the most about YouTube comments. But I'm an optimistic guy, and so I like to say my favourite thing, when what I actually mean is this thing I've noticed that's kind of depressing. Is that everyone likes to use the word just very loosely. When they say things like, why not just make Ilmango's cactus farm? I'm like, yeah, just. Let me just build this incredibly technical thing. Why don't you just play on Bedrock Edition? Sure, let me completely change my entire gameplay style. Like, why don't you just play Bed Wars? I find people saying that a lot, and it's funny because I don't think they understand that they're not doing it to troll, you know? Of course, now I've said that, people will. Great work, you're very original. But I think the idea that you should just do something is weird, because everything takes effort. Especially when what people are suggesting is, generally speaking, harder than the version that I'm doing as well. Like when I'm speed mining for a beacon, they say, why don't you just make a cobblestone farm with TNT? I'm like, okay, I can probably get more stone by doing this, but it involves my physical effort. So that's something that I should just do something else instead. Like, I don't get why. I don't get the difference. I'll pop these two shulker boxes back in there. I'll put the stone ones away as well. How long do I think it would take to finish the Nether Hub? I think we could probably... I don't know about the decorations and stuff, but I think we could probably clear out that entire circle area on the next stream, like on Tuesday's stream. Da, 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 da. Ba-dum. Do I think my armor could withstand a charged creeper blow? Yes. I do think that. It would help if it actually showed that I was wearing it, though. But no, with full armor, definitely. Without the chest plate, I don't think so. Anyone see any drowned? We'll probably have to go below the surface to find those, won't we? This is why we need a farm. Why don't you just build a drowned farm? Should really be hunting for them with Riptide. We should raid someone with nobody watching them. Depending on who else is streaming, we might do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Oh no, chunk loading is broken again. Oh, it's fixed. Never mind. What I really need is to find one of those underwater ruins. Preferably in an area that I haven't loaded. Which there might be some of over here. Every now and then I see dolphins or squid loading in and I think it's the drowned and it's not. And then I get sad. Pretty soon we're going to come back to the Guardian farm just by a different route. Hey fellas! Any of you got a fork? No? Do drowned have the same thing zombies do? With like reinforcements? Kind of hope they did, because then I could just keep hitting this guy. Hit him before Dolphin's Grace and I just zoom at him. What does Riptide do? It allows you to dash in water. And also leap out of the water like a graceful dolphin. And then immediately fall into the water because you forget to activate your elytra. It's also allows you to fly really fast in the rain. And even fly without elytra if you're careful. Nice. Carrots, gunpowder, paper. It's more fireworks, I guess. Do 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 do. Where am I now? I am in an ocean somewhere in the north of my world. That is the extent of my knowledge. There are some horses, and some pumpkins, and some pigs. What a lovely place this is, having all of these things. The bounty of nature. Almost taken off. There we go. Sploosh. Nice, I guess I'll take this. 1 emerald. Thanks. Thanks, shipwreck. You're welcome, Pixel Riffs. Oh no, I can't get out. Oh, no, I'm swimming. Refuel and buried treasure. Let's see what we got. Going to the south. West. So this way. I think. More south than west. Swoosh. Okay, it's there, I guess. Nice. Feel like getting myself an extra Heart of the Sea. And a bunch more sand, apparently. There we go. Thanks for the prismarine crystals. I'll be leaving those. I'll take the TNT, though. Do I still have my flame bow? I don't. Ah, never mind. No means of lighting that, then. See if I can find a skeleton with a flame bow. Heart of the Sea gets made into conduits if you have Nautilus shells. The conduit is basically an underwater beacon. It gives you infinite water breathing. But you have to place it in a certain area, so it only affects a certain radius. They're super fun, though. I really wish Minecraft had more stuff like that. Those, like, fun multi-block structures that give you interesting powers. The leather chest plate abandoned. Any chance of me doing episodes in PS4 version? Probably not, mainly because I don't have a capture card for my PS4. And I don't own Minecraft on the PS4. But hopefully some of the guides I'm making will at least be relevant to the PS4 version in some way. But there are a bunch of other YouTubers who play console versions that I imagine you'll have a more authentic experience with. Anyone with a trident? Oh, there's one. Great. Let's see if he actually drops it, though. See how many of his friends he can be persuaded to kill in the meantime. Having extra projectile protection is hopefully going to be of some use here. He dodges to the left. He dodges to the right. I think he did actually just kill something. No trident from him. Sad times. Have you missed anything? Not really. Elkhorn with 15 months. Thank you so much for the 15 months of incredible support. See some resub hype in the chat, folks. And yes, that is a lot of drowned. You are correct. Yeah, they're all gone now. Unless we can hear any while we're down here. Some whirling bubbles. And a fishing rod with Curse of Vanishing. Nice. The Fisherman's Curse. Another buried treasure map. Probably leading to the same place. Oh no, a different one. Nice. I'll take it, I guess. Ooh. Getting dragged down by the magma. Get lost. You as well. Bring one of your friends who's got the stick. Then we'll talk. Thank you for the gold, though. That guy has a stick. Oh. It's always weird to me how they're able to throw it while it still appears in their hands, you know? Oh, that one got me. Nice of him to throw it directly over my right shoulder every time. Hello, Mario boy. You have so many tridents, you just throw them into trees or bamboo when you find more. That must be a nice life. What a charmed existence you must lead. If you destroy a buried treasure chest, does it affect new maps you generate? No. It's supposed to, but it doesn't. Unless they fixed that in 1.14, but in 1.13 it was definitely possible for you to find several maps that led you to the same place, even if you ended up breaking the chest or doing anything like that. Oh, they're everywhere now. Well, this is good. Try and find one with a trident, though. You can usually tell from a distance by the pose if they're holding one, and none of those seem to be. Why are we searching for a trident? Because I need one. Because I want one with channeling again, so that I can demonstrate something in an upcoming episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. I need to be able to attack stuff with lightning again. How many mystical sea forks do I have? Just the one. It's got Riptide. When do I finish? Probably sometime in the next 45 minutes. Oh, hi. Up on the surface, are you? Occasionally fish spawn in the distance, and you're like, what is that? They just spawn in these weird formations. Can we go back to the AFK hoe breaker? Maybe once this guy gives us his trident. Oh, he almost absolutely annihilated his friend. Be great if you could just catch a trident. Just like right click at the right time and you just get to keep it. Nope. Still no. Another gold ingot from that guy, though. This is a great gold farm. Just build a gold farm. That's the other one. Just build Ilmango's Snow Crash Donut Gold Farm. Sure, let me just spend 20 hours of my life doing that. Why don't I put mending on the shield? Because shields are cheap. Takes you 1 iron ingot and 6 wood to make a shield. It's not really worth putting mending on. Stargazer with 3 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the support. Can we see some sub-hype in the chat, please? Thank you, Stargazer. Oh, more gold, yay. Are auto salmon farms possible? Yes. Very few people make them because they're not really worth it, but it's possible. Don't think you can put mending on the shield. You can. Anything with durability can have mending, including shears and flint and steel. Mending and unbreaking can be applied to anything that has durability. But yeah, Fry is right. The whole point of having mending and unbreaking on something is because you don't want it to break because it's got good enchantments on it. Other than that, whereas like you can't put like protection on a shield, for example. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, shields, flint and steel, shears can all have mending and unbreaking. You have to apply it with an anvil. You don't get them as natural enchantments in the enchanting table. What's better, a bow or a crossbow? I would say a bow, but it totally depends on what you want. Because crossbows should be used to attack multiple targets. That is basically what they're designed for. You have multi-shot, you have piercing, you can fire arrows in a spread or fire through multiple targets, neither of which you can do with a bow. But bows are way more powerful. Then again, I'm pretty sure, like, shooting stuff with fireworks does a bit more damage, but then you also have to make fireworks. And bows can have infinity, which crossbows can't, so... means you only have to carry around one piece of ammunition instead of potentially stacks. Sahara or Concorp? Oh, I'm not really sure. There are enchants to make loading crossbows faster. Yeah. But the whole point is to keep something at range, so... unless you have a specific thing in mind, loading crossbows faster isn't all that relevant. Like, it doesn't take that much more time to draw back a bow. And you can still technically fire a bow more or less immediately. The arrow just doesn't go very far and it doesn't do much damage when it hits something. The microphone was in the way. Alright, let me fight these guys off and I'll move the microphone. Would I buy Sahara t-shirts if they had t-shirts? Absolutely. I'm not biased. Like, I'm not just supporting Concorp for the sake of it. I'm buying their merchandise because I want to support the creators and they have a t-shirt. Sahara doesn't have much. Ironically, they sell everything except their own merchandise. But yeah, if anybody missed that. Wearing it proudly. Need some more water. Ironically, surrounded entirely by water. But I still need more. At least the drowned are obliging me by coming out in large numbers. By which I mean 3. Where are the Trident boys? Just boring regular guys. They're not even holding Nautilus shells. I should make a t-shirt. Joel Duggan is designing me one. So yes, I plan to have merchandise at some point. And it's not any kind of merchandise that I'm really expecting to make a profit from, but it would be cool just to, like, get it out there, you know? G-Team or Star Team. Once again, Concorp. We all know who the real winners were. Any more drowns? Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Thanks for stopping in. This does not seem like the best hunting ground right now. Much as it is occasionally feeding me drowned, I kind of want to move on to somewhere a little different. Let's go check out this second treasure map, shall we? So we need to be heading north west, I guess. Or northeast. Is that northeast? Wait. Northwest. I'm so bad with compass directions, which is probably why I want to build a giant compass in the Nether. You buy a space mug. I feel like manufacturing space mugs would be difficult. Now I understand why you bought Nautilus shells from a wandering trader. Yeah. There's the Guardian farm. Oh, don't tell me. You serious right now? There's a buried treasure on this island the whole time? Amazing. Sweet, it's got the Turtle Island on there. This has been here the whole time as well, because this wasn't a chunk I regenerated. This was actually a legit buried treasure. I think it's in the ocean too. See if we can swim down and spot which block it's under. No, I think it's probably under here somewhere. There it is. Hey, 2 diamonds as well. Nice. I'll take the TNT too. Never mind the salmon. Let's see if all of my turtles have disappeared. Nope, they're still there. Lads, lads, lads. Did I just fall directly onto some eggs? I don't think I did I? Didn't see the subtitle of it saying the egg cracked. But yeah, I really wish you could trade tridents from the Wandering Trader for like a stack of emeralds or something. A lot of Azumas. It's a lot of Azumas. They're such nice boys though. Let's head out to the icebergs. Usually find a few drowned around here. Drowned around. Hello, Diode. Welcome along. We are attempting to find a drowned with the Trident. Having found 3 already and none of them are kind enough to actually drop the things. We are looking for a 4th. Diode with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I'm glad you like the YouTube channel as well. Very kind of you. Wandering traders have bad trades most of the time. Yeah, there aren't really any good trades. That's the problem, really. Their whole purpose is to show you materials from other biomes, but when you've been out to collect those materials from other biomes, wandering traders really have very little value left. Occasionally they'll show up with some stuff like red sand or Nautilus shells, but it is rare that you get anything that's worthwhile from them, unfortunately. Here's why Frozen Ocean is usually a really good place to spot drowned. No kelp. So if something is drowned, you're probably going to see it. 5 emeralds for an oak sapling. In Skyblock, that's great, though. Once again, like, in other game modes, potentially, it's really good. And weird though it sounds, some of these features have not necessarily been designed with core survival gameplay in mind. Some of them are for other versions of the game. Mending rod. Slightly better. I'll take the wheat as well, I guess. But yeah, some of them have been designed with the idea that it's going to be usable in other game modes, like adventure mode and stuff like that. some features out there are for map makers and not for just regular vanilla survival players. Which is weird to us when we have such a strong focus on the survival game, but it's a fact. Super Dan, watching this while AFKing. Add a mob farm you got from the survival guide. Well, thank you. Glad you're finding the series useful. If you haven't gone exploring when a wandering trader would be nice, you usually don't have emeralds. This is also true. Unless you're lucky enough to find a village in the first place. Hup, hup. Seems like we're going to get more drowned at night. Those drowned definitely seem to come out more frequently at night. 8 sand for 4 emeralds. And you get that trade maybe 3 or 4 times before it locks. I really think wandering traders should just be able to trade perpetually, because they're going to despawn anyway. Hello. We've got Aquaman over here. Hi, hi. Aquaman and Paul. Oh, I heard the item noise. I heard the noise that meant, oh, you've picked something up. Wasn't a trident. It was probably some rotten flesh or maybe some gold. Boo. Diode, converting from Twitch Prime to a tier 1 sub. Thank you. I'll be able to renew that monthly. Whoa, there we go. Caught up with the lag there. I think I'm loading fresh chunks. Have I ever considered building on the icebergs? I would like to build everywhere. Is that another guy with a trident? I think it might be. Oh, it is. Yay. The pose. The action pose they strike. Ow. Get your PogChamps ready, folks. Rotten flesh again. Everyone in the chat being like, this is the one! I'm sorry. It wasn't our time. Yeah, I would love to do more build projects. Ultimately, my goal for the world is to build a base in every biome, more or less, or like to build something in every biome, something thematic to the area. Some people like to build, like Whip did on in the tour that we recorded the other day. He wants to make his world like a cohesive medieval kind of thing. I really want to explore a variety of styles in this series. It looks really weird holding the map behind me, by the way. This looks like part of my green screen somehow. Can you imagine if I had a green map that I was just holding up like that? That'd be really weird. Let's put the shield back. There we go. Yeah, I would like to do a base in every biome to kind of suit the biome it's in. So one of the things I plan on doing is a ski resort. Based in like a snow biome. And I also want to do some stuff in savanna biomes and deserts, and there's all kinds of different inspiration you can get, but not from Beethoven. There's inspiration you can get from each of the biomes around you, doing like a western town in a desert or a mesa. Like that's an easy call. Like a lot of people do stuff like that, but it's where people like to start out, and I feel like the survival guide kind of has the potential to become a series where people are going to get inspiration for little projects like that, you know? Yeah, in Java Edition, you can't convert zombies and have them drop anything. Like, converted zombies don't appear holding anything, and in Java Edition, the drowned don't have a random chance to drop tridents from the average drowned. Like, they have to be holding one to have a chance to drop it, and even then the chance to drop it is even lower, I think, than it is in Bedrock. But I feel like a lot of people in Minecraft build in plains biomes because they're big and expansive and have a lot of relatively flat open space. The grass is a very neutral green color. They are usually the site of most people's early projects, but I think it can be a fun challenge to stretch that and build stuff in unusual biomes. Tread the path less trod. And in snow biomes, you've got to deal with the fact that every time it rains, it snows, and you just have snow settling on everything. In some other places, like deserts, you have to deal with the fact that you don't get certain types of weather patterns, and husks spawn instead of zombies, and, you know, sometimes there's stuff that can be a little bit more treacherous. Gonna deal with this guy before he converts, because there's no point in having him convert. There's a guy with a Nautilus shell, yay! Oh, and a skeleton, apparently, because we're in some iceberg territory right now. Thank you for the Nautilus shell, buddy. These guys have a 100% drop chance, so that's fine. Oh, and he gave us some gold as well. Brilliant. Everything but the trident from that guy. Ha, you suck underwater. This just in, you can't compost poisonous potatoes. Much to my chagrin, yes. Poisonous potatoes continue to be useless. Nomal with 500 shamrocks. Good luck on the trident search. Oh, thank you for the extra boost of luck. And the 500 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you. Can someone explain strays to you? Basically, every skeleton that spawns in a cold biome, like in ice plains, is a stray, and they're just a variant of skeleton that shoots arrows of slowness. I think they basically exist to prove to the player that tipped arrows are a thing, and make you wonder how to get them. This is a really good song to be underwater to. It's just got this very kind of like underwater ethereal kind of floaty vibe to it. Doesn't it? Oh. Accidentally wound the track back instead of... I scroll a lot to change the volume in the media player. And, oh, they just converted. Nice. Yeah, I think the track bar was highlighted then instead of the volume, which is why that sounded a little bit weird. Oh no, another zombie. What will he do? He'll convert into a drowned like everyone else here. By the way, the other thing that's different about drowned from Java to Bedrock is that if they convert from something else and they're holding stuff, they don't just drop it all automatically. It disappears. It despawns. So that's our zombie over there. It's so funny the way they spin. It really makes me laugh. I've seen the Mushroom Island before. It's not a new find. There's two of them in this area. There's one there and there's one closer to the Guardian farm on the opposite side. Yes, the sword has looting 3. By now you just have to give up and spawn in the Trident for you. Yeah, I mean... I have a weird personal code of honor when it comes to this series, but also, yeah, this is what I do most of the time, like for work and enjoyment. And so, yeah, I feel like I have a little bit more patience than the average person for this kind of stuff. It's also nice to be able to do this on a stream, because then I get to talk to you guys while we're doing this relatively unproductive stuff. Why not just get looting 4? Thanks, Fry. Appreciate you. So much rotten flesh now. Have to start casting out some of this extra gubbins. Trident search looks like the recent Wither Skull searches. Yeah. I think it's an even slimmer chance because every Wither spawns with a skull, right? Not every drowned spawns with a Trident. Looking at this mob, like, does it have a head? Wishing that this was one of those Mixer interactive streams where you guys could spawn in Trident-wielding drowned to fight me. Impulse and Tango, where you at? Somebody did it! It was the 500 bits that did it. Hey! It was lucky! Normal 71 with the Shamrocks. I am crediting that one to you. We dedicate this Trident. Hey, get some hype in the chat. Get some hype. Now we can actually end the stream feeling satisfied with what we've done here. Oh, yes. GG, folks. All right, well, that's an episode figured out for this week then, because now I can actually make an episode about that. Ninja Mango with 20 bits. Thank you for the bits. You did do it. Thank you so much for the messages of luck. I entirely credit you guys with this win. Well done. Bravo. All right, now to not fall in lava on the way home. Well, let's get this thing enchanted. Biffa yay. .mp4. Yay! You feel now you feel sad the stream is over. I disagree with you, sir. Came to sabotage me. He heard I had a trident. He was like, I want a trident. I've never had a trident. Never seen a drowned. Never even seen water. Except my own tears. Maybe that's what ghasts are crying for. They're like, I have water in the nether. FF7 victory music. Quick, somebody donate $7.77. I kid. Falls into lava with trident and all the other gear I have on me. Don't worry, I've got a fire resistance potion though, so it'd be totally fine. Still have that from where we were clearing the Nether Hub. Right then. Let's get some enchanting on the go. I've got 51 levels, so this should be easy enough. Throw that in there with the diamonds, throw that in there with gold, throw that in there with iron. I've only used a stack of iron blocks, and to be honest, I think most of those are part of that stack since the update, so I think I'm in pretty good stead so far. You set the Final Fantasy victory theme to whenever you get an achievement. Nice. When I went to the Distant Worlds concert in London, they played that. They were like, okay, let's get this party started. And they were like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then that was it. That was like 5-second thing. Everyone clapped. Perfect. Hey, this is still kind of working. There's a lot of raw chicken in it, though, apparently. And so many feathers, oh my gosh. Just have those despawn on the ground, shall we? Thank you for the eggs. Alright, now we have 4 Hearts of the Sea and only 7 Nautilus shells, so great ratio there. Let's throw this in here, let's throw that in there. My sorting system is incredible. Caught myself in a lie there. Paper in there as well. Let's eat this chicken. Oh, there it is. Sephora with the 777 to celebrate the Trident. Thank you so much for the generous donation there. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, all these mending books, I forgot. So we have Unbreaking 3, we have it's not piercing, it's impaling. We also need loyalty. I'm sure I have a loyalty in here somewhere. Loyalty 3, there we go. We've got that. We've already got Unbreaking 3. Impaling goes up to 5, right? I haven't made that up. There's Loyalty 3 again. I have a Channeling book in here somewhere. Yeah, Quick Charge 2 and Channeling on that. But I'm pretty sure I have a Channeling trade as well. Protection Infinity. Yeah, there we go. Channeling. Good. And that is a Riptide Trident as a natural enchant, so that's not what we want. Quit making chicken cookers because the amount of feathers you get, yeah, they're a little bit intense. Just make an item filter and get rid of all of them, because who needs that many written books anyway? Now, do I have another Impaling 4 book? I do. Let's see if we can combine those, first of all. Yep, Impaling 5. Great. So now, Impaling 5, Loyalty. Unbreaking. Channeling like that. I'm being so particular about the order I want these to appear. It's a little bit silly. Mending. Too expensive. Dang it. Ah, well. At least I've got more of these. That was a mistake. Time to disenchant that book. How much XP do I get from this? Probably a lot. Let's see, we've got channeling there, we've got mending there. I've got so much mending, it's fine. I'm breaking 3. Loyalty. We can get impaling separately, so that's okay. Don't worry about that. I hate too expensive. I hate too expensive too. Okay, let's start off with channeling and loyalty together. See which way around this goes. Okay, broke that anvil, and I'm out of XP. So let's go to the Guardian Farm and do the rest of this. Back to the Guardian Farm. Who'd have thought? No, channeling and loyalty is not exclusive because you need them both in theory. But then there's no point in having loyalty if you have Riptide, because if you have Riptide, you don't throw the Trident at all. Riptide basically makes it impossible for you to throw the Trident. How are you supposed to fix your reputation with villagers if golems just attack you? I guess cure a couple of zombie villagers nearby, if you can. When AFK did I get one? I got one. And then I made a book that was too expensive to enchant. So we're having to do this in stages. Why not just get XP from the too expensive book? Because it's not going to restore 30 levels of XP. I expect I would get maybe like at most 3 or 4 levels from that. And I'm starting from scratch at nothing. Like this guy. Okay, 7. That's not terrible, but still. Still not great. So let's put that on the Trident now. That's going to cost 8 levels. If we put Unbreaking and Mending together, that costs 2. If we combine that, that's going to be 7. So that's not terrible. I need to get an Impaling book. Which is probably not going to come out of the table easily. So, Mass Enchanting Session, ahoy. Nice and easy to get XP back here, though, which is fine by me. Okay, so Trident, channeling and loyalty is the main deal. And then for that, 9. Okay, not bad. Not bad. In theory, we don't really need impaling, because impaling only works on underwater mobs. And I'm not really planning on using this a great deal anyway. Like, impaling would be great against all these guardians, but it's an afterthought. I've had this world, PIM, is that PIM? PIM or PLM? Since July 19th of last year. Okay, we have a channeling Trident again. In before hubris. And by the power of the Guardians, it is mended. I nearly threw it then. Gotta be careful with this thing now. We all know where it's just accidentally throwing a trident will get us. Can you not make the Guardians not track you? I think there are ways that you can, but those ways may have changed as of Minecraft 1.14. I'm pretty sure Cub's farm uses enchanting tables to put them at a level where they can't see you. But I don't think that still works. If I recall correctly, somebody said that was no longer the case. Now I'm Aquaman. Aquaman and Thor. One trident is Aquaman, and the other one is Thor. I can talk to fish and everything. So we'll try and get an Impaling 5 book again, because that seemed to be the only Impaling 4 books I had. Foolishly, I cast them aside. Wouldn't an axe be Thor? Yeah. I have some lapis over here. I do, good. And some Depth Strider books, apparently. So there is a thing since the most recent update, I think, that these still are called enchanted books when you disenchant them. Which is a little bit weird to me. Piercing, no. Sharpness, no. Protection. Feather falling, blah, blah. It doesn't stop you from enchanting them either, which is nice. That says protection 1 at 30 levels. That's got to be hiding something else, right? Probably like a piercing enchantment or something. Unbreaking 1. Okay, let's disenchant all of these. The Trident also doesn't have the, like, enchantment glimmer to it. I wonder why. Could disenchant that with mending as well, but eh. Having a mending rod is nice. That's fixed in the new snapshots. Okay, cool. I figured it'd probably be seen to at some point. Like, one of the the notes in the recent changelog was something like, you know, when you load up a world in a full release version, it no longer tells you you're upgrading to a snapshot. There's just, like, little things like that that are coming through in these changelogs. I swear you get piercing in the enchantment table so much now. No lapis left behind. The good thing about having the enchanting table over there is it seems to be basically the perfect location to AFK and wait for the Guardians to pile up in here. Because I built the kill chamber a little bit too close, so it's not really optimized for how many Guardians end up spawning. Let's throw all of those on the ground. I threw it on the ground. Piercing 4. Again, piercing and not impaling. It's weird that I, like, can't remember the difference between the two sometimes. Do I have loyalty on the Trident? Yes. Channeling and loyalty, unbreaking and mending. All I need is impaling. Really wish Tridents could have sharpness. I'd use them a lot more if they had sharpness. Bane of Arthropods 4. Get out of here with that. As always, it is so hard to get that one enchantment that you need. Now, the grindstone never wears out. It's not like the anvil where it breaks after a certain amount of uses. Why do I hate Bane of Arthropods? Because it's useful for killing 3 mobs. And one of them you rarely encounter. In fact, 2 of them you rarely encounter. Depends how much time you spend around cave spiders. But, ultimately, I don't really think that individual, like, focused enchantments like Smite and Bane of Arthropods are really that useful compared to just general enchants like Sharpness. I'm keeping that Unbreaking 3 books. I never get Unbreaking 3 books. Quick charge every time. Seriously, the crossbow multi-shot is nice. It's the first time that's shown up for a while, but the crossbow enchants are just so heavily weighted, and I do not care about the crossbow enchants. I get that everyone who's upgrading their world probably wants one, but... Oh, hang on. If I put the enchanted books back in the enchanting table, they turn into books again? Except that one doesn't. What? This is really weird behavior, Minecraft. Freaking me out right now. If I try putting the Trident on the table and seeing what comes up, I won't be able to now because it's already enchanted, so I don't get to pile anything else on there. But when I put it on the table before I started to enchant it, it said Riptide, which is precisely what I don't want. Then again, I could always put it on there, disenchant it in the grindstone, and then try again. But that seems like the wrong way to do this. I mean, to be fair, I would probably get the enchantment I wanted faster, but I've made my bed already, you know? See, if I put that back there, it turns into a book that I can stack. Except the last one doesn't. That's so weird. I got rid of the Unbreaking 3. It's fine, I have another one. I have loads of Unbreaking 3. It's just automatic at this point, just force of habit. I'm pretty sure I have a trader who trades me Unbreaking 3, or at least Unbreaking 2, so yeah. Not heartbroken. Let's get rid of all these fish. They're just like coming into my inventory from there. You! Stop it. What are prismarine crystals for? You use them to craft sea lanterns, which are a really great light source until you've got tons of them and then you realise you don't use them for much. Flame? No. Fortune 2, don't care. Sweeping Edge 3 would have been useful once upon a time. Again, with piercing being everywhere. Protection 3. Piercing 2. Piercing 4. the grind. It gives a whole new meaning to the grind. Now I need more lapis. Have I tried raids yet? Yes, and I plan to go back and try another one, because the first raid I tried, I ended up with all of the villagers dying. But in my defense, I made no preparations for defending the village. I just kind of tried it and decided to see what would happen, and the villagers all got killed pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure I got to the last wave of the raid too, but yeah, Evokers came out with Vexes, and it was over pretty quickly after that. I didn't die. Pretty much all of the villagers did. Why do I hate Flame? I don't hate Flame, I just never use it. I feel like hate is a very strong word. I reserve my hate for Bane of Arthropods and Flint. Wow, that's a lot of lapis. I just forget how much lapis you get from these things until I've just got an entire inventory full of the stuff. Good thing Guardian lasers don't destroy items. Have I made a pillager farm? I have not. No, because I've been busy exploring the mechanics at my own pace. Bane of Arthropods, you understand, but why do I hate Flint? Because, in the end, if you have like a skeleton spawner, or if you have an infinity bow, or if you fought enough skeletons, you don't need Flint for anything. It is now possible to craft fletching tables with it, which I will admit gives it some purpose, but aside from flint and steel, which you need to craft like 3 of ever in a survival world, like flint is basically useless, but then it still drops from gravel all the time unless you have Silk Touch, and it just becomes like too much after a while. Again, Feather Falling 1 on a level 30 book suggests to me that that's going to try and give me something else. You can use fire charges instead. Yeah, and you can carry around a stack of those, and it's like having a flint and steel with 64 durability. Yeah, you can now trade flint for emeralds, which is the best change that's been made to this game in a long time. I wholeheartedly approve of that change in particular. Sharpness 3. Okay, not the greatest hidden enchant there, Minecraft. Alright. It's like the farmer villagers now trade beetroots and eggs. Yes! Oh gosh, eggs! Being able to trade eggs is so good. Just like saying flint and steel. Yeah, flint and steel is a nice phrase. One of those cellar door type things where it's like, ooh, language. Is it impossible to get impaling out of an enchantment table? Am I playing myself here? Is impaling like a treasure enchant or something? Should go and look at my villagers and see if any of them trade impaling. Anyone want to trade in an impala? Can we please end soon? I mean, you can leave. You're allowed to leave anytime you like. No, I didn't think impaling was a treasure enchant. There's only 2 of those, and they're pretty well known anyway, but just the sheer lack of getting impaling of any kind out of this enchanting table is just absurd. You want to see me raid someone? Well, now it is, to be fair. It's usually the type of time when I wrap up my streams anyway. It's nearly 8 o'clock here. I need to go and put a pizza in the oven. I'm going to go and see if any of my villagers trade for impaling, because I have a feeling the guy downstairs in my farmhouse actually has an impaling trade. Which would make most of what I've just done futile, but hey, that's Minecraft, isn't it? Are arrows of invisibility useless? I mean, depends what you want to make invisible. Can I show you the Guardian Farm? You can see the Guardian Farm on my my YouTube series, because I have just left the Guardian Farm. Do you trade impaling? He's got an impaling 3 trade, chat. Also sharpness 5 and fortune 1. Question is, can any of the other villagers top that with impaling 4 for fewer emeralds? Because I have a feeling some of these guys, a couple of them traded like channeling and stuff. Like this guy here has efficiency 4, silk touch. Oh yeah, that's the silk touch guy. This guy has projectile, curse of he has 2 curse of vanishing books for different prices, which I always found really funny. This guy does mending, looting, and curse of binding. Why do none of you trade tridents? Cartographer. Oh, that's something to check. No, he's still locked up. I think they can't move out of the minecarts, and they also need to think that they can pathfind to the workstation, which is weird. That guy's no longer there. This guy, feather falling, punch, respiration. Can you trade for tridents? No, you can't, unfortunately. Smite 3, protection, smite 1. Efficiency, knockback, channeling. That's the channeling guy. That's the guy I was thinking of. This guy with the bookshelf trade has looting and protection. This guy, punch 1, protection, and depth strider. Depth strider is useful. Looting, infinity, looting. Some weird combos. Who are you? Efficiency. Oh yeah, we talked to you already. Were there any librarians on this lower shelf? That guy is now unemployed. Loyalty 1, Infinity, Fortune 3. Lure 1, Channeling, Luck of the Sea. Oh yes, channeling for 6 emeralds. That's why I have so many channeling books. That pig was having the time of his life. See that guy? Alright, let me grab some more fireworks from here. Alright, impaling 3 it is. Let's grab the emeralds. That should be enough. Put these away. Hello, friends. Oh, we need books. It's a good start. Do you reckon he'll take enchanted books? Let's find out. He doesn't. That's great. Good work, Minecraft. Well done. Oh wait, no, he didn't have enough emeralds. Okay, good. Okay, I'm not. Yeah. Not gonna like have another go at Minecraft today. Right. That's them. Let's see if we can combine all of these and then get it on the enchant on the trident. I doubt it, considering that that's 8, that's 8, that's 12, that's all my levels, and now 20 levels to get it on there. But that would be impaling 5, so that's a maxed out channeling trident. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I think that's probably going to be it for today's stream, folks. We are approaching the 4-hour mark, and I want to thank everyone who's subscribed, dropped a follow, and has been showing support on the stream today. Appreciate you guys a great deal. I think we're going to drop you guys off with Ector. We have a whole variety of people streaming Minecraft today, which is lovely to see, but I raided Joel last time. We're going to raid Ector this time. Ector is over on his Patreon server playing Sky Factory 4. If any of you guys are interested in modded Minecraft, probably worth checking out. And he currently has 9 people watching. So this guy deserves a lot more, by the way. He's a friend of mine, played on the Cobblenauts server together. Very talented builder, very good Minecrafter in general. Go check his stream out. Give him some love from me. Don't forget to use the Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag PixelRaid. Show some love over on Ector's stream. Thank you guys for being here. My name's been Pixel Riffs. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye for now.